Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Mesmer Stadium. My name's David Winkler, and I'm joined once again by my partner in crime, John Carmody. Art Carmody will be joining us again on the sideline this year, and we're looking forward to another great season of Flyer football with you. John, the Flyers are looking to build off of what was a great game last weekend, a 17-2 road win at Cedar Creek. And they're going to have to do it with an inexperienced offense led by sophomore Jacob Lafitte, running back Trey Taylor and Reese Ebar. But they've got a tremendous defense led by Sam Schwach and Jack Bodden, amongst others, who hope that they can keep control of the game until the young offense comes around. So, John, tonight they're going to face a Delhi Charter team coming off a win last week against Delta Charter. And what do you think the Flyers need to do to keep that 1-0 record, the undefeated record, intact this week against Delhi Charter?
You know, this season starts off a lot like we started off 3 years ago. We had a sophomore quarterback back then, Jacob Allen. He had a senior running back.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Stansel.
Mesmer Stadium. We ask that you please
Stansel was
rise
a hard-running running
for our
back.
pregame prayer and
it allowed for
national
Jacob
anthem.
Allen to develop over
First,
the course
for
of
the
that
prayer,
season. I think you're going to
leading
see
us will
that
be
this year.
senior
You're going to
lineman
see the senior
Thomas
Reese
Murphy.
Ebar provide a lot of comfort for Jacob Lafitte to start to develop. Jacob Lafitte has a lot of weapons on the outside. They may be new, but he does have weapons. A.J. Taylor, Brandon Williams, Trey Taylor, they can all make plays on the outside. It's going to be about a matter of getting the ball in their hands in the appropriate position early on. Jacob's going to learn that he's got to make quick decisions, and he's got Reese Ebar to help him out with that.
All right, great. Thank you, John. And now we're going to throw it to the video for the starting lineups for the offense and defense.
Graham Mayo, senior.
Thomas Murphy, senior.
Luke Albin, senior. Eli Poole, senior.
Kenyatta Davis, sophomore.
A.J. Taylor, senior. Trey Taylor, sophomore.
Brandon Williams, senior.
Ellis Tompkins, junior.
Reese Ebar, senior.
Jacob Lafitte, sophomore.
Jonathan Durrell, senior.
Jack Bodden, senior. Cody Kilgarland, junior.
Sam Schwach, junior.
Michael Key, junior.
Ian Birch, junior.
Luke Hammer, senior.
Neil Brock, senior.
Joshua Jackson, senior.
Pierce Jackson, junior.
Dylan Williams, senior.
Ashley Jackson with a great rendition of the national anthem for us. Jack Bodden, Reese Ebar, Luke Hammer, and Eli Poole will represent the Flyers at midfield as the captains tonight. So, John, Delhi Charter comes in here 1-0, coming off a 25-18 victory over Delta Charter. It was a home game for Delhi Charter, so tonight's the first time that they go on the road. They're going to be led by quarterback Chad Clark, who's a freshman, so this is his first taste of a road action. Running backs James Thomas and wide receiver Marcellus Creer will also pace the Gators on offense. They're going to run a balanced offense, and they've got two really nice defensive tackles, big kids, Hayden Aldridge and Michael Williams, bolstering their line on the inside. So, John, you know, we noted watching in warm-ups, I mean, the Flyers are going to have their hands full tonight. This Delhi Charter team although they're a smaller school, they're a two-way school. They certainly don't look it when they got off the bus. Some big boys.
You know, and offensively for the Flyers, the Delhi has really good big defensive tackles, and they like to blitz a lot. So Jacob Lafitte's going to really have to be able to read that, see that situation. He may end up having to, work out of certain calls to make sure that they're not exposing themselves too much on those blitz packages. Quick reads, quick throws, a lot of draws. That's the way you're going to have to try to beat those blitzes. Talk about on the defensive side of the football. The Flyers' defense has really played well in the last couple of games. They have not been scored on in their jamboree or in last week's game. The 2 points came from a safety runner stepping in the back of the end zone. So the Flyers' defense has really been up to what has been advertised. But this is going to be a challenge for them because God definitely has some athletes. And the quarterback likes to run, so it's really going to have to be important for them to stay disciplined, stay where they're supposed to be, because there are going to be a lot of opportunities for them to be watching inside and plays happening behind them as well.
So Delhi Charter won the coin flip. They deferred, and the Flyers are going to take the kickoff and head from south to north to start the football game. Delhi coach Jeremy Foote mentioned pregame that in last week's games they had some problems cramping. They had problems with the heat, and you can see it from across the sideline. They're not a very deep team, so that might be something to look out for tonight. Game time kick is somewhere around 94 degrees right now, and down on that turf field it's generally at least 10 degrees hotter, so something around 105 on the field down there. So look out for things like cramping and the heat just in general to take its toll on both these teams. But will it affect Delhi Charter a little bit more because they're not quite as deep in personnel as the Flyers are? We'll see about that as the game goes on.
The one benefit, though, is the sun has actually kind of gone behind the stands a little bit, so at least the sun is not bearing down on the players at this point. So hopefully the field can cool down a little bit for them.
So back to receive for the Flyers is Trey Taylor, and he'll be joined back there by, let's see, who is that, JB? He's got his shoulders turned to us. It's kind of hard to see from our angle. But there's the kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 14-yard line, returned across the 30 out to the 35, and that's where the Flyers will have it first and 10. It looks like that's Pierce Jackson on the return for the Flyers, number 27.
That's a return of 21 yards to the 35.
So out comes Jacob Lafitte, his first home start of his career, sophomore. He's got one start under his belt and one win on the road last week at Cedar Creek. Sure, he's got a few butterflies coming out here to Mesmer Stadium for the first time. He's played, obviously, last year. He got some relief duty last year, but this is his first start. He'll be joined in the backfield by Reese Ebarb. And he's going to hand off to Ebarb. Ebarb's got a nice hole across the 39 out to the 40. Be a gain of 5 and set up 2nd and 5.
Number 42, James.
So that's nice right there. They move a man in motion right there. They see that Delhi is in a man defense. It's helping them get a read on what Delhi is going to try to do. Simple little read. Nice run by Reese Ebarb.
So 2nd and 5. Flyers in 4 wide, 1 back. Jacob Allard from the shotgun. And looks like we're going to have a penalty. Let's see what the flag's all about. Procedure against the Flyers, and that'll mark them back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like they
Motion penalty against the Flyers will bring up 2nd and 10.
looked like they started a little early on the snap right there.
And that's the kind of thing that we probably will expect to see for a few games, John. I mean, they're such an inexperienced offense, especially at the skill position. You're going to have some growing pains. This is not going to be a well-oiled machine early on. They're going to have to grow into their roles.
And because of that, it puts even more pressure on Reese Ebarb.
Lafitte's pass is complete that time to Chase Jackson, and Jackson with a nice reception out to the 47-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for a Flyer first down. Gain of 12.
It's a nice pass right there. The slot just goes a simple little out, a quick
That's a
throw.
gain of
Exactly what we
13.
talked about at the beginning of the
First down,
telecast. It's a way to
Flyers.
start the game.
Lafitte hands off to Ebarb. Ebarb tries the left side, and the Gators are there, but Ebarb, with great second effort, is able to make 5 yards out of what looked like he could have been stopped after maybe a yard or two. So nice second effort there by Reese Ebarb.
Not only that, but it was a nice play back on everybody's part. Thomas Murphy had to come out and try to seal the end, and he did for a split second. But the defensive end played it fantastic. It came outside right as Ebarb was breaking to the outside, and Ebarb could have been stuffed right there, but second effort got him 4 or 5 yards.
Trips to the top of your screen. Lafitte's going to look to pass. They set up the screen pass, and it was set up pretty good right there, but just over the outstretched arms of Ebarb, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5.
You know, that was a perfect call right there. You have a very aggressive defensive end coming right towards the quarterback. That play was set up beautifully. It was just a little bit high for Ebarb.
So 3rd down. Flyers need the 42 of the Gators. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. David Winkler, John Carmody, bringing you all the action from here at Mesmer Stadium. Scoreless game early on. Flyers just across midfield. Looks like there's a little confusion on the Gator sideline.
Well, the referees sent one of the Delhi players to the sidelines. I'm not exactly sure what that was about. But Delhi looks like they're not sure who their backup is.
Or purchasing a raffle ticket to win a $100 Dillard's gift card. You can pick up your
So
raffle
finally,
tickets at the
Trenton
main gate.
Jinks will make it. Excuse me, that's Thomas McKnight making his way onto the field for the Gators. And let's see what they get right there.
And really a very smart call to go on to right there with all the confusion that Delhi just had. It was a really smart coaching call to go on to.
And the penalty's going to be right on the down to gain. Let's see if the officials do what they normally do in these situations, which is give them the first down. And that's exactly what they do. So first down Flyers via penalty. Ball at the Gator 42.
1st and 10 Flyers at the 42 of Delhi Charter.
Lafitte checks back to the sideline. He's looking deep. He's got a man. Oh, just overthrown that time. He was looking for Chase Jackson. He had him, John. Jackson had 2 or 3 steps on his man, but Lafitte just not quite able to put it in there.
You know, that was a great play call. Again, I give Coach Sella a lot of credit for that call right there. They show that they can get behind the defense. Jacob threw a good ball. He just needed a little bit more air underneath it. Let him run up underneath it.
And the Think Network. Thanks to our All-American sponsors in 2019.
So 2nd and 10. Feet hands off to Ebarb. Ebarb with another nice hole. Ebarb across the 40 down to the 38. Gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 6. Aldridge on the tackle for the Gators.
And again, it's a great run, great hole by the offensive line right there. Reese Ebarb allowing that third in a shorter situation than you're in gives the coaches a lot of options at this point.
Excuse me, I correct myself. It was the 38, not the 36. It is still 3rd and 6. 9:24 left in the first quarter.
Walked up their safeties here.
Lafitte fakes the handoff to Ebarb, and he's got his man complete across midfield. and that is Nathan Lorette, Nathan Lorette, all the way down to the Gator 10-yard line.
And we just talked about that, Dave. We talked about the fact that Dell had just walked those safeties up. They came at Jacob, and he stood there, and he made the right call. The quick slant was the right call right behind where the safeties were. Great call, great execution.
29 yards on the pitch and catch. Flyers have it first and goal just inside the 10 now. Handoff to Ebarb. Ebarb with another nice hole. Ebarb plows his way. He loses it at the goal line. The official has not blown his whistle. It looks like for now they're going to call that a fumble, and I guess forever, since there's no replay in high school football, looks like the ground caused that one, John, from all the way up here. I don't see any way that ball was coming out before it hit the ground. Did you?
I don't know. I mean, the officials were right there on the line, and they never even thought about calling it. But that was crazy. I mean, it looked like Ebarb was down.
Not only was his knee down, but he was stretching, and the ground caused the fumble when he hit the ground on the tackle. That was an unfortunate play right there for the Flyers. The Gators catch a big break and now have it 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line. Flyers looked like they had a go-ahead touchdown right there, but not to be.
You know, and Coach Jeter, of course, is going to ask for an explanation on this about whether or not the knee was down, whether or not the ball crossed the goal line, when the ball actually hit the ground.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You're watching Fire Football on LCP TV.
Get all your Loyola Spirit. First and 10 for Delhi Charter at the 5-yard line.
So the Gators, with the big break, have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 on the 5. Chadwick Clark at quarterback for the Gators. And he's going to hand off that time to his big running back, number 42, James Thomas. And Thomas bullies his way across the 10 out to the 12. That'll be a gain of 7. And make it 2nd and 3.
James Thomas carries. He's tackled by
Again,
Zach
you had
Pierce Jackson.
two defensive players there. They
Gain of
just
7.
couldn't wrap him up
Second
right
down,
there.
3.
So 2nd and 3. Flyer defense, the strength of their team, looking to get a quick 3 and out and get the ball back. And that time, Chadwick Clark's going to be able to shrug a few tackles before he goes down right around the line of scrimmage. But there is going to be a flag, and it looks like it's going to be holding against the Gators. We'll see.
But that's why the Flyers are going to have to kind of stay at home with defense right there, because
Clark keeps.
the quarterback is
He's
definitely a
tackled by
threat to
Luke
run the
Hammer.
football.
There's a flag on the play.
Luke Hammer was the first Flyer to get there. Flyers doing a great job right there corralling Clark. And after the penalty, the ball is going to be marked back, let's see, to the Gator 6.5.
Holding is a call.
And
It'll be a 7-yard penalty to the 7-yard line.
3rd and roughly 8 for the conversion. Actually, it should be 2nd and 8. I think the down and distance marker on the wrong side needs to be reset. And Clark loses the ball, rolls back into the end zone, and he's able to get it off almost. The Flyers had a chance for a big play right there. There is a flag in the end zone. We may get another hold here.
Pushing the back,
pushing
in the end zone safety.
That's right. The penalty that occurs in the end zone becomes a safety for the Flyers. So after a kind of questionable fumble call where the Flyers looked like they were going in for a touchdown, the Flyer defense does its job and creates a scoring opportunity for itself.
2 points for the Flyers.
Your score here at 7:40 in the first quarter is now Loyola 2, Delhi Charter nothing.
You know, and that's a tough one right there for Delhi because, again, the ball was lost in the end zone. The quarterback's scrambling. You're trying your best to get your quarterback in a situation where you can get rid of the football. You know, you're just kind of looking at the whole defense is coming into the end zone. So that kind of pushing the back is easy to be seen and called in that situation.
Well, that's a big break for the Flyers right there. I mean, that easily could have been a big momentum turner. And let me tell you what, he was scrambling, to be clear, and it would have been called back for a penalty anyway. But Marcellus Creer had a play on that ball.
He did.
And if he would have caught it, he probably goes 98 yards.
But, you know, we've seen little glimpses of what the Flyers have to do. Their running back is effective. The quarterback is an effective runner. So, and he's going to want to throw the ball short. So they've got to be disciplined. They've got to have their eyes trained, but they've also got to be staying home into their positions because the action could come back at them just on a cutback.
So Trenton Jinks set the kickoff for the Gators. Jackson and Thomas back deep for the Flyers.
Jinx to kick off.
And they will kick it deep. And this time, Thomas is going to take the kickoff. He'll cross midfield. He's got wheel. No, that's Trey Taylor, excuse me. And Trey Taylor's going to take it all the way down to the Gator 22, where he'll get knocked out of bounds. But the Flyers have it in great field position to start their second possession of the night.
You just saw what makes Trey Taylor so special right there. He can move, and then he can turn it on.
45-yard return.
So right there on the
22
when he had to get outside, he has
by
another
Trey
level
Taylor.
of speed that a lot of kids do not have. And
First
he has
and
got
10,
the ability to make
Flyers
people
at
miss.
the
It's a
22.
great return. Trey's been nursing a groin injury. It's great to see him out there.
So after the Taylor return, Flyers are set up great at the Gator 22-yard line. Lafitte's going to hand off inside to Ebarb. Ebarb stymied at the 20, and he'll be pushed back after a gain of maybe one. Great job by the Gators that time. Swarm tackling Aldridge and Williams. The first two Gators there make it 2nd and 9.
And Reese runs hard, but right there, I wish he'd have stayed on
We
the
like Loyola
outside and not
Future
cut back
Flyers here tonight
that
with
because
us
he had
on
momentum
Future
going right
Flyer
there. He
Night.
would have
You're hearing more of their
easily been able to get
performances
3 or 4 or 5
from
yards.
cheerleader squads
And the way
during
he
the
hits
night.
people,
We
he may
welcome
have
all
taken
of
that
our
even
future
further.
Flyers here tonight.
So 2nd and 9. .644 left in the first quarter. Flyers have a 2-0 lead. Ebarb takes the handoff. This time he powers his way down to the 16-yard line.
Cameron McDaniel.
That'll be a gain of about 5, make it 3rd and 4. Again, that's what Reese
It's a gain
Ewald
of
does well.
5.
He
Third down
hits those
and
holes
4
and he carries
from the
people with
16.
him.
Well, the Flyers have had, for the last several years, John, we know they've had a bevy of running backs that all do a great job of leaning forward on first contact. And Ebarb's just another one in that long list.
You know, I think it must be a prerequisite when they get out to spring football that you better be doing that for this team.
Lafitte throws back. He's lucky that time because number 3 for the Gators, Jeffrey Williams, was right there. If he had had one more step, he is gone.
Well, and I hate that because Brandon Williams, if he came and met the football right there, he waited on the football. The play is made for him to come back and catch that ball on the inside, and then he's got blockers to catch the cornerback right there. So I hate that he was kind of waiting on that ball. It really would have been a good play. It was a good play call.
The first field goal attempt of the night for the Flyers. Coach Michael Mitchell special teams coach extraordinaire. Has always done a great job with his kickers.
And again, I mean, they're coming out for this on 4th down, and I actually like this call. The way Reese Barb has been running the football, I would give him a chance at this point. I have no problem with this call.
Well, and they may very well not even run a play here. It's inside of 5 yards, so they may simply look to draw them off sides again. It worked earlier in the game where they got a good first down out of that. Let's see if they run it or not. They are going to run the play. And this time Lafitte's going to keep it, and it's going to go absolutely nowhere. Loss of about 9 on the play, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Gators ball at the Flyer at their own 30-yard line.
I see on that series right there.
Balls is back to the 27. Another 11.
Delhi was coming right there. They were trying to stop that. So,
the Gators.
That was the time, if you're going to throw a pass, it would have been that little quick slant over the middle would have been a good play call in that situation.
Harkening back to the fumble when the Reese Barb lost the ball going in to score earlier in the quarter, our man on the sideline, Art Carmody, who got good video right down from the goal line, says that video confirms that he was in fact down. So that should not have been a fumble as we suspected, but it's high school football, and that is what it is. So Chadwick Clark is going to roll to his right, and he's going to get picked off that time by Luke Hammiter. Hammiter's got some blockers, and he's going to return it back to the Gator 33. The Flyer defense just suffocating here early in the football game, John. A safety early on, and now a turnover, and the Flyers are right back in business inside Gator territory.
And that was a great play by Luke Hammiter, but it was even better play by Dylan Williams.
With a
Dylan Williams
interception return to the
basically
32.
reject that pass and tip it back for Luke Hammiter. I'm really impressed with the way Dylan Williams played that.
Pass was tipped by Dylan Williams.
Between the interception there and the lost ball in the end zone, I think Chadwick Clark's maybe showing his inexperience a little bit and his age. He is a true freshman, which is, something you normally don't see in high school football, a true freshman getting the call. But that's the case for the Delhi Charter Gators tonight, and right now that inexperience is showing early on. Lafitte, also an inexperienced quarterback, but he's going to look downtown. He's got his man in the end zone who got turned around. He wanted Brandon Williams, but Williams got turned around that time and probably should have made that catch, but as it is, it's an incomplete pass, make it 2nd and 10.
That was a great play call again. I mean, the play calling has really been spot on. They had one-on-one coverage back there. You've got a taller receiver. The ball was there. It just, Brandon kind of lost it looking back. And again, give Coach Solo a lot of credit. Great play call.
So 2nd and 10 from the Gator 33. Ebarb's going to take the handoff, and he's going to drag the first tackler across the 30 down to the 29. Once again, an Ebarb run that looks like it's going nowhere somehow picks up 4 yards.
Yeah, but again, he's kind of cutting it back right into those big tackles that we talked about before the game starts. I really would like to see him get off tackle, really kind of run with a little bit of force, and I think that he's going to be able to take those linebackers for a ride.
It's a gain of 3. 3rd down and 7 for the Flyers from the 29.
So after the 3-yard gain, it'll be 3rd and 7. Flyers need the Gator 22 for a first down. And once again, the Flyers look like they're able to, let's see if it's going to be, this time they're going to get Loyola for movement on the line. Looked like that could have gone either way, John, but.
When they called delay a game, the back judge, I didn't see that.
He called a procedure penalty.
Delay is the call.
I know he
against
did,
the
you're right.
Flyers.
Looked like Gary Allen had movement, but the other official says delay of game.
That was interesting. I mean, I don't know when they actually started that play clock. Oh, there he picked up that makes sense. He did pick up the flags. It did not seem like the clock had started at the right time. I think he looked at the.
Flag is waved off. It'll be 3rd and 7 at the 29.
So after the flag is waved off,
And
back to
sadly,
third
I
and
think that there
seven.
was an offsides that, didn't
Yes,
get called right there.
Exactly. You wonder, Lafitte is getting awfully bobby when he makes that gesture for the snap right there. If he's not careful, the official's going to get him. Pete looks downfield, and that pass is incomplete. He wanted Trey Taylor that time. Taylor had his hands on him, but just couldn't hang on. Not sure he would have been able to get the down to gain anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was well defended right there. Really, the hole would have been if Jacob would have seen it and had been able to turn that up inside the end and run for about 6, 7, 8 yards.
So fourth down.
Get your sweepstakes tickets. And they're available
Obviously,
throughout the
Coach
stands.
Jeter is not trusting the kicking game quite yet this early in the season. These are spots where in years past we would have seen the Flyers go for field goals, but not tonight. That's twice now we've turned down an opportunity for a field goal attempt.
Well, really, right there, that was the right call. Again, the safeties had come up. He was trying to get somebody behind where the safeties were. The ball just got tipped. I mean, I actually like the play call in that situation. And you can't argue with where the field position is for them going for it on fourth down. The problem that I have right now is they're having a lot of zero-yardage plays. And those zero-yardage plays will end up hurting you. If they can just continue to sustain drives, then you're really good. They're moving the ball when they are running the football and kind of changing it up.
So in a back-and-forth game that's been almost exclusively played on the Gator end of the field, goes back to the Gators now. Chadwick Clark will look once again to get something going for his offense.
$500 or greater. Get your raffle tickets now and join us on November the 13th.
I just hate that the Flyers
First and 10, Delhi Charter.
keep flirting with these missed opportunities.
The Flyer defense has been stellar so far. Fumble on the play, but that ball, luckily for Delhi, is going to roll out of bounds. The Flyers do a great job right there of dislodging it from James Thomas.
The ball carrier, fumble on the play.
Jonathan Durrell
Looks like
Jonathan
Durrell.
Durrell played that beautifully. Not only was he there for the tackle, but to be able to strip him right there, fantastic play. Durrell has played well in the scrimmage in the first game. This is, he has been a very solid player for the Flyer defense.
Loss of 3.
So after the 3-yard loss, it'll be 2nd and 13.
But Delhi, of course, got a break right there with the ball going out of bounds.
Clark's going to keep this one, and he's going to get ball down almost immediately by Dylan Williams. Dylan Williams does a great job that time flying in and making the stop, gain of 1.
Again, that is Dylan Williams coming from the cornerback position to make that play. This is what I talked about at the beginning of the telecast, about having your eyes in, making sure that nobody gets behind you, but you have to have your eyes in. He had his eyes in, looking at that quarterback, ready for him to take off, and that was a great play from a cornerback position.
So 3rd and 12. The Flyer defense looks to get another 3 and out or a turnover. They've had great luck turning the ball over here in the first quarter. The Flyers bring pressure, and they are going to get to Chadwick Clark. Great job by the Flyer defense that time. Brought down at the 19-yard line by Sam Zwack.
And again, Sam Zwack played that perfectly. He did not let him get outside of him in order to make that tackle. A great play. If he loses containment right there, the quarterback can run for a while.
So the Flyer defense has been as advertised so far tonight, John. We kind of knew that the defense would lead the way and the offense would have to kind of find their way, and that's exactly how this game has played out so far.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you see it. We've called a lot of kids' names right now. That's the way the defense plays. There are a lot of kids going to the football.
So the Gator punt is going to be returned by the up man that time. Doing a tremendous job is Josh Jackson bringing the ball all the way down to the Gator 19-yard line, but there's going to be a late flag coming in. Gary Allen flew through the flag from midfield, and I bet you this is going to be a sideline. The Flyers came running off the sideline to congratulate Jackson, and I think Gary Allen came right over and threw the flag.
I think that was Luke Hammer, wasn't it? I think that was Luke Hammer that actually made that hit, and everybody came over to celebrate with Luke, but the Delhi player was right there. So, again, I mean, the Flyers got to be smarter about that. And, again, this is one more mistake. They have things going their direction, and they keep making these little mistakes. And so, again, they keep losing some of the yardage that they gained in their initial drive, getting all the way down to the goal line. And now, again, they're starting their drive at the 45-yard line.
So it's a 15-yard penalty. The Flyers back at the 45, 2:09 left here in the first quarter. Flyers still leading it 2-0. Seems like it should be more, but the Flyer offense just hasn't quite found their footing yet. Handoff's going to go to Reese Ebarb. Reese Ebarb's got the biggest hole of the night. Reese Ebarb powering his way across the 20. They can't bring him down. He finally goes down at the 15-yard line. Great run by Reese Ebarb. 30 yards and a Flyer first down.
And that's exactly what I talked about earlier. That's what's going to be effective. He wasn't running right at the tackle.
The 15-yard line, 30-yard gain. First down,
They pulled a couple of guards out there to help him, but that's where they should be exposing the Delhi defense.
Flyers right back to the line of scrimmage like they like to do off big plays. Ebarb's going to take it again. Ebarb crossed the 10 to the 8.
The same exact situation, running off tackle to the left side this time. Ebarb runs this very well. He runs with power, and he knows the hole to go hit. They just, they need to stay away from running right at those big tackles, and I think they're going to be very effective.
Keyshawn English into the game, into the backfield for the Flyers for the first time tonight. English, I believe the little brother of Aldrich English. I believe that's correct. I hope I didn't misspeak there. Handoff goes to English, and he'll get down to about the 6-yard line.
Number 15, Keyshawn
He'll pick up 3 yards right there. It'll make it 2nd and goal from the – no, actually, that would be 3rd and 1. Excuse me. It's not goal to go.
English to the 6-yard line.
So 3rd and 1.
But again,
go the Flyers.
This is where the Flyers need to be. They need to be in 3rd and short yardage situations. Of course, what the Flyers haven't shown in this is in this run-pass option, they haven't shown Jacob on the keep. And, of course, that was a big play for Jacob Allen over the years.
I think that's by design. I think they want to kind of limit Jacob's running early on, it sounds like. Not quite the runner Jacob Allen was. I mean, that's not his strength. Jacob Allen was a really good runner. Jacob Lafitte needs to develop into that role.
Now again, this is a call. It was 3rd and 1 right there. I don't have a problem with the quick slant call on the outside. You might have thought that they were setting it up to go for it on 4th down, but actually looks like they are.
Yep.
Looks like
4th down. They need about a yard here. Direct snap to Ebarb, and Ebarb's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line, so the Flyers will have it 1st and goal from the 1.
So I guess we've called this formation the Wild Tiger. We'll call it the Wild Flyer.
Wild Flyer.
Yes, and so the direct snap to Reese Ebarb.
And they're
effective. Very effective.
They're going to stay with it. Ebarb again, looking for the direct snap. He's going to get it, and he's going to cross the end zone for a Flyer touchdown. Reese Ebarb with a 1-yard touchdown run, and with 7 seconds left here in the first quarter, the Flyers lead it 8-0.
So again, going back to that 3rd and 1 quick slant to the end zone, trying to get the quick score, you can't argue with that if you're coming right back with the Wild Flyer formation that with Reese Ebarb getting the football. I really like the call on 4th down and to follow it right back up.
So the Flyers with the conversion attempt here.
Again, this is an interesting call. You have 8 points. Do you kick the extra point, make it 9, or do you try to make it 10? And so You know,
I
in
think-
this situation, I would go for the extra point to make sure that you're taking the possibility of one score out of the equation.
Yes. I frankly, in the first quarter, I don't even think that's a decision. You make it a 2-score game and you move on. All right, so let's go down to the sideline. We're going to go down to no. Okay, so evidently we're not going to go to Art Carmody right now. No. Okay. Looks like Art is. Let's see. He's going to wait for the quarter. So we'll hear from Art Carmody momentarily. I know everybody's waiting with bated breath to hear what Art has to say down there. So 7 more seconds, and your wish will come true, right?
The conversation goes up significantly when Art gets to talk.
I mean, how many high schools have the chairman of the Independence Bowl as their sideline reporter? I mean, and a Lou Groza Award winner. That's pretty impressive credentials, I think.
No wonder his shoulders sit down a little bit. He's got a lot of stuff sitting on those shoulders.
So, John, evidently, Coach Jeter agrees with your line of thinking because they look like they're going to go for 2 here. And this time, Michael Key is going to take it across the goal line and convert for 2. So 7 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Flyers now lead it 10-0.
Again, that's our first little look at Michael Key, but you got to be impressed right there. He took that direct snap, and he put his head down. He knew that the goal line was right there, and he was not going to let somebody stop him.
So the Flyer offense, after kind of feeling their way through most of that first quarter, finally finds their footing there, and they're able to turn another of what have been several short fields finally into points on the other end.
You said it perfectly, David. That is exactly right. Getting your footing down. And really, like we talked about in those series before, they were very effective running the football. And they turned to it in that last series. And that's exactly what you really want to see. Reese Ebar really has not been stopped in this game, especially when he's been running off tackles. And I really do think that they need to stay with that game plan until Delhi shows that they can stop it.
So Donovan Wells is back deep to receive the Matt Mansour kick. And Mansour, he's going to kick it over actually to Jeffrey Williams. Williams is going to try to take it back across the field, and that was a big mistake as the Flyers special teams unit does a fantastic job swarming Williams back around the 10-yard line. He'll lose a few yards on that play, John.
It is. What's interesting is for years we've seen the sky kick, and so they let Mansour kick away right there, and it was a nice angled kick, and so by the time he caught the ball, he thought that the best avenue was going left, and that's where the whole defense was.
All right, so now we're going to go down to Art Carmody on the sideline.
The score may be only 10-0, but the Flyers have been in complete control of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. Dylan Jackson, defensive coordinator, has got to be very happy with the defense performance so far, getting the safety earlier and giving the Flyers offense a lot of short fields to work with. We'll see if the Flyers offense can get a little bit going. You saw the run game there on that last drive really pick up. But the Flyers so far are complete control after 1. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Art. The start of the second quarter now, the Flyers in business, up 10-0 here at Messmer Stadium. David Winkler, John Carmody. You just heard from Art Carmody on the sideline.
Hospital and orthopedic specialists.
But you know what, Dave, going back to that touchdown, we talked about it. They played on this side of the football field for essentially that entire quarter, and to finally get the points that they needed, that is an important part of this game.
Be first and 10.
And they had many opportunities to score, and to finally get that score, again, you're putting Delhi in a bad position starting their drive at the 10-yard line.
So first and 10 from their own 10 go the Gators. Chadwick Clark stands back with James Thomas. Clark's going to keep this one. He's looking for room around the right side, and he's got absolutely nothing. There's about 6 Flyers meet him right around the line of scrimmage, and it's doubtful he got anything out of that carry. Call it second and maybe again, 9. Lost of one.
I'm going to tell you, Cody Kilgore only played that beautifully. The quarterback tried to cut back inside,
That's a
and
gain of 1,
Kilgore
second down
stayed
and 1,
at home,
second down
right
and
where
9.
right where he's supposed to be. If he'd come upfield, he creates that crease. He was right where he needed to be and was able to make the tackle.
So 2nd and 9 actually for the Gators now. Clark's going to look to throw this time, and that pass is going to be incomplete. He wanted his main man.
Broken up on the play by number 8, Luke Hammer.
Excuse me. No, that was Jeffrey Williams. Looks like.
Well, that was
3rd and
perfect.
9.
Luke Hammer sat on that throw right there. They like to get into that trip sets and throw that quick little slant or stop pattern that they do. And Hammer knew it. He's seen it on film, and he was sitting there waiting for it.
Well, I tell you what, the Flyer defense is being so aggressive right now and getting into the backfield so quickly, it's doubtful the Gators are going to have much time to get much of anything done other than these short little dinky pass attempts.
But not only that, but like you said, I mean, the defense has been playing soundly where they're supposed to be. So the defensive line is not creating a lot of opportunities for the quarterback to find holes.
And looks like the Gators are actually going to get a timeout right there
Flyer fans, take
before
out your
the
raffle
snap.
tickets. We are drawing 5 winners.
We want to say thanks to our All-American sponsors, Autobody Express, Baker Machine, Barksdale Federal Credit Union, Jimmy Granger, and Cane River Auto Adventures, Dr. Peter Nasser, Home Federal Bank, Graf Orthodontics, Specialist Hospital and Orthopedic Specialist, Sure Access MD, and the Think Network. The 67th Annual Loyola Style Show, Born on the Bayou, is being held on November 13th at the Shreveport Convention Center. Tickets go on sale September 13th. Tonight we have students selling raffle tickets for the Style Show. So if you are actually here at the game or you're listening to our broadcast while you're here at the game, you can find tickets with our students in the stadium. The prizes are valued at $500 or greater. Get your raffle tickets now and plan to join on November 13th. So here we go, 3rd down and 9. Gators need the 20. Clark's going to look to pass again, and that pass is incomplete. That time he wanted his number 1 man, Marcellus Creer, who's been very quiet tonight. We kind of came into the game thinking that he would be someone that the Gators would focus on, but the Flyers, with a chance to get off the field, instead rough the passer and give the Gators a new set of downs.
And again, that's Sam Swak. He has played really well, and it's one of those things where
Moves the ball to the 26
you know
yard
that
line.
you're coming off the
1st and
field
10,
right there. You got to be a little
Charter.
bit smarter than that. Trying to hit the quarterback, you don't get anything out of that at the 5-yard line. You make them punt.
So after the penalty, it's 1st and 10 Gators from their own 21. And that time the handoff's going to go inside. And the Flyers are going to do a great job shutting it down after the Aldridge carry goes for about 2 at the most there, make it 2nd and 8.
And again, we're calling Durrell and Kilgarden's name again.
Second down and
That's
9.
how well the defensive line is playing. They are not letting a lot of opportunities.
So 2nd and 9, and looks like we're going to get, let's see, is this going to be another timeout? It's like timeout that time. Gators.
No timeout,
that's
they'll have Charter.
That's the 2nd timeout of the night. They've got 1 left.
That was a really nice place. I think that they were about to call him for illegal motion.
67th Annual Loyola Style Show, Born on the
Let's
Bayou,
take a
is
quick
being held
commercial
on
break.
November 13th
We'll be
at
right
Shreveport
back.
Convention Center.
You're watching
Tickets
Flyer
go on
football on
sale today.
LCP TV.
Tonight.
Back. 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. Flyers lead it 10-0. Gators have it 2nd and 9 from their own 27-yard line. Flyer defense has played tremendous football tonight. The Gators have yet to even cross midfield. Clark's
Oh, looked
gonna
like a
drop
hole
back.
right there.
Looks like a design run, and that if it was designed, it wasn't designed well because he got maybe a yard before Pierce Jackson absolutely swallowed him up at the 29-yard line.
That was a great play.
Gain of 3.
But Pierce Jackson,
It'll be third down and
making
6.
a play right there. The quarterback's dancing around trying to look for spots, and that's when you can get set up.
So it was actually a gain of 3. It'll make it 3rd down and 6. Didn't seem like he got 3 that time, John.
He did a lot of running for those 3.
So 3rd and 6. Flyer defense looks to get off the field and make up for the roughing the passer penalty earlier in this drive. Ball's on the ground. Clark's able to pick it up. Throws passes incomplete. Desperation throw went for Jeffrey Williams. And that'll bring up 4th down. Luke Hamner doing a great job on the coverage that time for the Flyers.
I like the defensive call. Coach Jackson going ahead and blitzing him, knowing it's really a passing down situation. And they're really trying to put the pressure on the quarterback.
So the Gators look to punt. Jinx will
Jackson back
get it
deep.
off, and it's going to be a shank off the left side of his foot, and it's going to bounce sideways and roll dead at the Gator 39. So once again, the Flyers are going to start with great field position.
And just like the last one, the last drive, I would be doing the same philosophy. I would be giving a heavy dose of rebarb until they show that they can stop it. And again, I wouldn't be running a lot of the necessary read option. They've had a lot of success pulling the guards around, pulling a tackle. So I think it's worth it to see if they can ride eBarb in this drive.
So here come the Flyers.
And that being said, they start out without Reese.
Last time we saw the Flyer offense, they pushed it through for a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. First play here is going to go to Trey Taylor, and Taylor is going to pick up maybe 3 yards on the carry, make it 2nd and 7.
Way to go, St. Mark.
Keyshawn English.
Excuse me, that was
Gain of 3,
Keyshawn
2nd
English,
and 7.
not Trey Taylor. I'm sorry. So after the 3-yard carry by English, I just saw the 5 there, John. I didn't see the 1.
But you can see the different running styles of English and eBarb. eBarb knows to go hit that hole. And
Now Lafitte pass is complete. He has Chase Jackson on the right sideline. Nice throw there by Lafitte. And that'll be good enough for a Flyer first down across the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Gain of 9.
For the Flyers.
you know, and again, I like Chase Jackson kind of tiptoeing up the sidelines and trying to get every yard he can and putting his head down and getting a few extra yards.
Lafitte's going to look to pass, and that pass again is complete to Chase Jackson. Jackson's across the 5. Touchdown, Flyers! Chase Jackson from Jacob Lafitte for 27 yards, and the Flyers now lead it 16-0.
On a 27-yard touchdown reception.
I love that play right there. They just try to leak Jackson out into the flats. It's a simple throw for Jacob, and then let him do the rest of the work. It was a well-designed play.
So after a slow start, the Flyer offense is in business now. Two drives, 2 scores, and we're finally going to see Matt Monsour attempt a kick here. And the Monsour kick is up, and it is good. So 7:52 left here in the first half. Flyers now lead it 17-0.
In this game so far, the Loyola offense is wearing down
We're going to go down to the sideline for Art Carmody now.
Flyer offense to get rolling. Flyer defense and special teams once again giving the Flyers a short field to work with. Jacob Lafitte a touchdown pass. Flyers in complete control through a quarter and a half. Back to you guys.
The Flyers now up 17-0 with 7:52 left here in the first half.
If I can go back to where Art interrupted me, just to tell you, in those last couple drives, you can see it wearing on the Delhi defense. So this last almost 8 minutes of this quarter, that Delhi defense has been through a lot this half. And so if the defense can do its job again, I can see the offense going right back at them again.
Yeah, obviously the Delhi defense has been on the field for quite a while here in the first quarter, and this is obviously not what Delhi wanted in terms of the heat, cramping, and all the other issues that they had last week. So the kick is returned up to the Gator 24, and that's where they'll have it first and 10.
And again, a nice kick by Mansour, an ankle deep kick, went all the way down to the 10-yard line. So starting the drive at the 23-yard line.
It's a 13-yard return. First and 10 at the 23.
So after the 13-yard return, first and 10 from their own 23 go the Gators. They haven't really been able to get anything going tonight. Flyer defense has been absolutely tremendous. Chadwick Clark's going to look to throw. Looks to his left, and ball is well overthrown that time. Looking for Terry David. That time, number 4, Neo Brock on the coverage for the Flyers.
Neo Brock defending on the play.
And again, I don't mind Delhi making that play call right there. You've got an inexperienced quarterback. Your best situation is out on the edge like that, and so he's trying to throw it up to a big receiver. But he just had way too much arm
for this year, and the great history of Flyer football in a game program unlike any others. Over $5. It's at the.
So second and 10 now.
Second down and 10.
Clark again looks to throw. He wanted his man out of the backfield. Nothing doing. That time he's going to keep. And John, that's just a freshman. That's a freshman right there. There's no other way to put it. You got to get rid of that. If you're Clark, you can't take a sack right there. You just got to get rid of it, throw it out of bounds, move on. But if you're a Flyer fan, that's what you want to see, a loss of 12.
I don't care. I mean, you're right about all that. But Key made a fantastic play. He played the running back he was looking for and took him away. And then once he took him away and the quarterback committed, he's the one who went and made the sack. I mean, a great play all the way around by him.
Oh, yeah, not taking anything away from the Flyer defense, that's for sure. So 3rd and 22. The Gators backed up right up to the shadow of their own end zone. Flyer defense licking their chops. And we're going to have a flag on the play. It looks like a false start. And the Gators are just making their situation a little bit worse.
That was the best of two scenarios right there, because the actual snap was a fumble too. So, the best thing that could have happened right there is a false start.
Penalty is against the Gators. It's 5 yards to the 6-yard line.
So after the 5-yard penalty, it'll make it 3rd and 27 now.
So, again, it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Jackson plays this. You got 6.5 minutes left to go. You got a 3rd and 27. Again, we had a roughing the passer penalty in this situation extend Delhi's drive the last time. I would hope that we're going to be playing back and anticipating a punt. The last punt went a very short distance.
You got to figure Clark's going to be looking for Creer right here, or at least trying to. No, but he's just going to keep it, and he'll be run out of bounds at the 9-yard line. So the Flyers, once again, after the punt that's surely coming up, are going to have the ball in great field position. And Clark gets up a little gimpy that time after the tackle.
He did, and he kind of came down awkwardly, kind of underneath the tackler, and so hopefully that's just something he can shake off.
And if you can only imagine if they're starting a true freshman at quarterback now, who's the backup?
4th down.
Do they have an 8th grade, a 7th grade?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if Delhi Charter goes down that low.
So Jinx standing in his own end zone. Josh
Jackson,
Jackson and Pierce Jackson stand well inside of midfield. Jink almost gets that block. He might have even gotten a finger on it. Looks like that was number 8, Luke Hammeter, that got in there. I'm not sure if he got a finger on it, but if he didn't, the Flyers are still in great shape. 1st and 10 from the Gator 30.
It really looked like he may have gotten a finger on that, but either way, he caused that punt to be short. So again, we just talked about this scenario. The defense did their job. The offense has a very short field. The Delhi defense has been on this field on a very hot night for almost the entirety of this first half thus far, and we still have half this quarter to go.
Well, yeah, the story so far is definitely the Flyer defense. But let me tell you what, the Flyer offense seems like they're starting to find their way a little bit. It started out with some nice running by Reese Ebarb, but in the last couple of possessions, Jacob Lafitte has done a nice job finding a few different receivers, making good decisions, making nice throws, and the Flyers have been able to push the ball across the goal line twice in a row, and that's what accounts for their current 17-0 lead.
And really, I mean, and Jacob had a couple of balls that easily could have been caught, and nothing against the receivers, but they were nicely thrown balls as well. And of course, your offense is moving if you make those catches as well. So the offensive game plan for the Flyers has been really stellar so far.
Ebarb back into the backfield for the Flyers. Lafitte's going to hand it to Ebarb, and Ebarb's going to get right about back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to say it's a 2-yard loss. Cameron McDaniel with a nice tackle on Ebarb right there to make it 2nd and 12.
Now, right there, Ebarb should have gone inside. They had somebody pulling to kick out the end. He actually took it to the outside right where the end was, so it was an easier play for him.
Trips right, go the Flyers. 2nd down 12. Again, Ebarb's going to take it up the middle. And again, the Gators showing a little bit of pride right here, John. That's the first time we've seen the Gators with 2 pretty good stops against the Flyer run game. Gain of 1 that time for Ebarb, make it 3rd and 11. Maybe 3rd and 10.
That's the one run I would not be doing right there. Trying to run between the guards right there with those big defensive tackles. It's going to be tough.
So the Flyers need the 20. Lafitte looks to throw. He looks to the end zone. He's got a man. And that pass is incomplete. He wanted A.J. Taylor right there, but Taylor just couldn't quite go up and get it. Wells with really good coverage for the Gators. And, John, the Gator defense showing us a little something right there. Doing a good job on the Flyer pass game. Make it 4th and 10.
I will say that, in that original series, I would have given, Reese Ebarb more of a, off-tackle plays. That first play, really he tried to pop it outside. The play was really on the inside. And so it really has kind of stymied this drive.
All right, so the Flyers are going to go ahead and go for it. They're kind of in no man's land, 4th and 10. Lafitte's going to drop back to pass. He fires downfield, and that pass is again incomplete. Underthrown, looking for Chase Jackson. Jackson looked like he had a step on his man, but Jacob just couldn't quite get it there to him. So the Flyers turn it over on downs. Gators will have it back at their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, there are 2 receivers in the area. I'm not sure if that ball sailed on Jacob over the first receiver, but the second receiver, Chase Jackson, didn't really look back for the ball. So if that was his ball to get, the timing was a little bit off right there. But again, I go back to the same thing. Even though it's 17-0 right now, that's a missed opportunity. Delhi's defense is tired. It would have been good to have a sustained drive, keeping them on the field for the next few minutes.
Yeah, it's 17-0, but right now, this game could easily be 31-0. So 4:41 left here in the first half. Gators have it back on their own 30. Chadwick Clark's going to hand off this time. They're finally going to get the ball in Marcellus Creer's hand, and Creer's got a nice run down to the 44. It'll be a gain of 14 yards and a Gator first down. Neo Brock finally pushed him out.
That's the real reason why you have to stay at home right there.
Gain of 14.
Well, and you wonder
You start
why.
tracking the flow right there of the
It'll be
football,
first and
and you're
10.
not staying at home. That kind of thing can happen to you.
You wonder how long it was going to take for them to try to find an inventive way to get the ball in Creer's hand.
Absolutely.
Clearly, just being able to draw back and throw it to him is going to be problematic for the Gators. So after the 14-yard Creer run, it's first down from the 44 for the Gators. Handoff goes that time to Montreal Williams, and Williams is going to be brought down at the 45, a gain of 1.
Williams.
Another great play by Ian Birch right there. Ian Birch was waiting for that, met him in the hole, and drove him backwards.
Second and 8.
So it's a gain of 2. Second and 8 go the Gators now. 4 minutes left here in the first half. Flyers lead at 17-0. Clark is going to look to throw this time. Has a little more time. He looks downfield, but this pass is incomplete. He wanted Marcellus Creer, but Creer just couldn't quite bring it in. Great coverage that time by the Flyers.
42.
And they did the right thing. The safety was back there with Creer. I mean, that's where he wants to try to go with the football. You can see that he is looking his way, and so the Flyers need to make sure that they have 2 people in that area.
Correction, 46-yard line. 3rd and 8.
So 3rd and 8. Flyers with 3.5 minutes left here in the first half. They get it back right here. Would have plenty of time to put some more points on the board before halftime. Clark looks to throw again. This pass is complete to Creer, and Creer goes absolutely, relatively speaking, nowhere. He picks up 3 yards on the reception before Dillian Williams brings him down. It'll make it a 4th and 6.
A very safe little out pass right there, and the Flyers were sitting on it, thank goodness.
Let's see what the Gators decide to do here. Looks like they're sending the punt team out there.
Again, it'd be hard right here with 3 minutes to go to try to go for this with 45
Jinks to punt.
50. Especially
Josh
since
Jackson,
the Flyers defense is
Pierce
playing
Jackson,
so well.
back to receive.
So the return firm of Jackson and Jackson back for the Flyers. Jinks ready to kick again. His last 2 punts haven't been that great. Jackson's going to receive it, and he's going to get waylaid at the 25, but he hangs on. Great job that time by Jackson, just hanging on to that
Pierce
ball.
Jackson, no return.
And the Flyers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 25.
That's exactly right. And again, you
1st and 10 to
give the
25
defense credit one more
Loyola.
time for giving the offense back the football. So the Flyers have 2.5 minutes here to try to move the football, and we've seen that they've been able to do that running the football. They've been able to do it with some safe passes. So there's nothing that you have to do in 30 or 40-yard chunks right now. They have plenty of time to move the ball down the field.
First play, handoff to Reese Ebarb. Reese Ebarb bullies his way across the 40 down to the 41. Great run that time by Ebarb. He picks up 17 on the play and a Flyer first down.
And that's the play call we've been looking for, and I love the first play of that drive being that call.
2 minutes, 22 seconds left on the clock. Flyers right back to the line of scrimmage. Lafitte's going to roll right and look to throw. He's got his man. No, incomplete. He wanted A.J. Taylor, but he couldn't hang on, make it 2nd and 10.
Winners. All the numbers start with
Again, a very good
150.
throw, though. The ball was right where it needed to be. A.J. just couldn't hold on to it. But I like the play call. Nice little 10-yard out, so good safe throw. It would have been a first down.
131.
Nothing wrong with that call.
194 and 130. If you're a winner, go to the field house, in front of the field house, to claim your prize from Dilla's in the raffle.
So 2nd and 10. Ebarb again on the carry. Ebarb again has a nice hole. He's across midfield down to the 45. That's a gain of 13 and another Flyer first down.
Again, these are great lead blocks. Ellis Tompkins making great lead blocks. The guards pulling out, making great lead blocks.
That's a 12-yard gain. First down.
Turning the ends out and letting him run inside of that.
.150 left, clock's moving. Flyers across midfield. Now we're going to get a timeout by Delhi Charter. I believe that is their final timeout of the first half.
The athletic trainer for Loyola is proudly provided through the Christus Highland Sports Medicine Program in conjunction
The
with
sports
the
medicine team from Christus Highland Hospital, along with Doctors Edwards, Anglin, George Byram, Carrollton Holt, Timothy Talbert, and Craig Springmeyer of the Highland Center for Orthopedics provide all the sports medicine care for Loyola. Did you know that athletic trainer Chris Campbell is provided through our working relationship with Christus Health and the Highland Center for Orthopedics?
David Winkler and John Carmody, our sideline reporter, is Arthur Carmody.
So, John, a minute 42 left. Flyers have it across midfield at the Gator 46. Gators are now out of timeouts. I don't think Loyola's called a timeout, if I'm not mistaken.
They've got them down for one, so
Yeah.
I think Coach.
Did he?
I think Coach Jeter must have called a timeout on the Ebarb fumble at the goal line.
You're right, he did. He sure did.
But I'm not sure about where the second one came into play.
Our scoreboard is notoriously inaccurate when it comes to timeouts, so it's hard to trust it.
But I think I just saw Coach Jeter check to make sure, and I think he confirmed that he only has one timeout left.
1st and 10 Flyers. Lafitte looks to throw. He looks deep.
He's there.
He's got his man. He's got A.J. Taylor for a 46-yard touchdown, Flyers. But there's a flag in the backfield, and I tell you what, you can just look at the expression on Thomas Murphy. His body language tells you everything. He didn't even move a foot. He just got his hands on his hips like he knew it was coming back.
You hated that was the play that you're kind of looking for. I hope that gives Jacob Lafitte a lot of confidence too. It was a great rollout. The timing on the throw was beautiful. The distance on the throw, the air underneath it was right where it needed to be, giving AJ time to get past the defender. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
10-yard penalty. Move the ball, make an 11-yard penalty.
So take the touchdown off the board, move the ball back 11 yards to the Flyer 43, and that'll make it 1st and 21 with 1:34 now left here in the first half. Lafitte back to Ebarb. Ebarb's got some room, and they're going to get another flag, though. The play's going to go for about 11 yards, but there is another flag that looks like it's going to go against the Flyers. Let's see. No, maybe it's going to go. Let's see. The Flyer players seem to indicate it might be going against the Gators.
Looks like they may be calling a chop block.
Yep, they're going to bring it back. So it's against Loyola. Let's just see how far it brings us back. Hold against the Flyers. So
holding is the call on the Flyers.
2 big plays in a row, John, negated due to holding penalties.
That's a 6-yard completion, and then a 10-yard penalty will bring up 1st and 25 at the 39.
So after all that, 1st and 25 from the 39 now for the Flyers. Minute 16 left here in the first half, and the clock runs.
And at this point, the Flyers need to get their calls in because you can't be looking over the sideline waiting for calls and wasting 20 seconds at this point.
And the handoff that time is going to go to Trey Taylor, and Taylor's going to get bogged down for about a 3-yard loss.
Taylor, tackled by Arledge.
Clock continues to move. 52 seconds left.
2.
And that'll bring up
Second down. 27.
27. You almost wonder at this point whether the Flyers don't just take a couple of knees and take it to the locker room.
But you can see how gassed Delhi's defense is. I would still take my shots here. I mean, you know, they are tired. Their body language shows how tired they are.
Well, clearly the Flyers aren't in any hurry. Maybe they just want to get it down to the end of the clock and take one more shot. And that pass is tipped at the 45-yard line. He was looking for Taylor.
And bring up third down.
That'll bring up third down. So 3rd and 27. Clock stops with 15 seconds left. Flyers trying to add to their 17-point lead going into halftime here. And Lafitte's going to take a sack. Big time sack that time by Reed Arledge. Drops Lafitte all the way back to the 30-yard line. He's going to lose about 7 yards on the sack, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Your score from Mesmer Stadium, Loyola 17, Delhi Charter nothing. And we're going to go down to the field with Art Carmody here in just a second, who has Coach Jeter on his way to the locker room.
Coach, a pretty dominating first half. Defense and special teams gave the offense a lot of short fields. Any adjustments that can be made offensively to get more points on the scoreboard?
Yeah, well, can't drop touchdown passes. We had a fumble that wasn't a fumble, so, that's 14 points out there. And then just penalties that are killing drives, just silly mistakes. And so I just got to clean it up in the second half and hopefully come out and play a little bit better. And hopefully our defense and special teams will keep giving us these opportunities.
And not a lot of coaching going on, a lot of success so far in the first half. I saw you coaching the ball boys up there for halftime. Is that just to get a little coaching spirit here tonight?
Yeah, but when we're trying to go fast, especially in 2 minutes at the end right there, if we throw, they got to get coached up too. So everybody, fair play around here.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And kick it over to our halftime show. We've got the Loyola Hype video and the rundown for you. Two great video packages put together by Loyola's Media Arts Department. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes or so to catch you up before the start of the second half. David Winkler, John Carmody, you're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
How does it feel to be on the winning team?
A new way of looking at my circumstances. Get my mind ready for this year, because when I get this year, there's going to be blessings, there's going to be miracles, there's going to be opportunities. Oh yes, there's going to be some struggles, it's going to be some challenges, it's going to be some tests, but even the struggles are an opportunity for me to show off the victory if my mind can handle the change. Let the past go and step over into the future. Step over into the future. Step over into the future.
I think that warn you, there's something about to change. We're standing at the border where history is made. We're cranking up the lights now so everyone can see it's all happening right now. We're gonna make you believe it's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's gonna be loud. This is our house. We do what we wanna. We'll blow the roof up. Everybody's coming. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. We'll make the whole world hear us. So throw your hands up high. We're about to show you why they fear us. Here comes the battle cry. Here comes the battle cry. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's gonna be loud. This is our house. We do what we wanna. We'll blow the roof up. Everybody's coming. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get. It's about to get.
It's game day, Flyers. I'm Mary Rose Desautels.
And I'm Wes Barlow. Who's ready for our first home game of the season?
I know I am, but it's not just our first home game. It's also an important night for our future students.
Here's Julia Smith to give us the details on Future Flyer Night.
Hey everyone, tonight is Future Flyer Night. Here's Mr. Andy Klein to tell us more.
Good afternoon, Loyola. Future Flyer Night is this Friday. Future Flyer Night's a way that we can honor all of our prospective students. We've invited our middle school cheerleaders to perform on the sidelines, and it's just going to be a great way to see the Flyers bring home a big victory. So come out this Friday for Future Flyer Night.
Thanks, Mr. Klein. Make sure to give all of our future Flyers a warm welcome. This has been Julia Smith.
Thanks, Julia. I can't wait to see the future Flyers at Mesmer Stadium tonight.
Have you ever seen that painted bus behind the field goal?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't really know, but let's find out from Mary Catherine Bernard.
Pipeline is one of Loyola's most unique traditions. Here's this year's leaders, Noah Jones and Ross Ellison, to tell us more.
Pipeline is basically like a pregame, like tailgate for the Loyola game. We have a bunch of trucks lined up, and when football players run out, we all rev it, get everybody hyped, get them energetic for the game.
All right, so Pipeline starts at 5:45. And if you want to bring a couple bucks before, we'll have some canes for sale. It won't be very expensive. Then we'll have some drinks for sale too. And we'll have some music playing. It's going to be a good time. We'd really love to see y'all come out.
I like Pipeline so much because it's a great way to get hyped for the game.
I like Pipeline because you hang out with all your friends before the game and you eat really good food. And it gets you really excited for the game. And you get to hang out with your friends and hear all the trucks.
Makes me feel hyped to know all my friends, family, and the school is behind us cheering us on.
I like hitting the pipeline bus because it's a cool, unique senior tradition which allows us to put our own personal touch on the bus and kind of make it our own.
Hope to see you at Pipeline before the game. This has been Mary Catherine Bernard.
Thanks, Mary Catherine. I'll definitely have to check that out tonight.
There's lots of great players on this year's Flyer football team, but who knows? Maybe there's one more player the team might need to add.
Marguerite Papa tells us more.
Back in August, U.S. soccer player Carly Lloyd was filmed kicking a 55-yard field goal at a joint practice between the Ravens and the Eagles. After her video went viral, Carly was offered by 2 NFL teams to possibly kick at one of their preseason games. They have Carly, but we have Callie. Do you think senior soccer player Callie Matlock could kick a football like Carly Lloyd? Do you think she could possibly even play on our Flyer football team? We went to Mesmer Stadium to find out for ourselves.
Kicker? I need a safety. Can she play safety? I mean, I got a ton of kickers. You know, my first concern is a girls soccer player really going to lower herself enough to come out and play with the boys on the football team? You know, I really don't know if she'll be able to lower her ego enough to come out and play with the boys. And there's only one way to find out. Bring her out there.
So as a dad, yeah, totally against it. But, you know, as a father and athlete, yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. Five more. Hey, Monster, you heard we have a new kicker?
Let's do this thing. Oh, that was the weirdest run up.
Thoughts? So far, so good.
She's kicking better than Matt so far. So, I mean,
Final thoughts is she looked fantastic. No warm-up kicks, came out. I mean, accuracy was phenomenal. I think she had like 5 kicks. All of them were accurate. She maxed out at 40 yards. I think with a little bit of work, yeah. It's too bad. Is she a senior?
I think with time I could get a lot better. I can go a lot farther than what I did. This was my first time, so I can only get better from here.
Now, Matt, you are not here to watch it. Is there a reason for that?
I was at a chiropractor appointment.
Really?
Yes.
Had you been here to watch, what would you have thought about it?
Well, I heard that she kicked 40 yards off of 5-step. I think that's pretty decent.
I learned that you're not supposed to land on the foot that you kick with. It's very different than soccer.
Bring it on.
Best of luck.
wow, that was a crazy kick.
Let's check out how the rest of our athletes are doing in Andrew Flanagan's sports report.
Tonight, the Loyola Flyers play their home opener against Delhi Charter at 7 at Mesmer Stadium. The Flyers are coming off a 17-2 victory against Cedar Creek. Loyola led 3-2 at halftime as Matt Monsoor made a 23-yard field goal. The second half had a lot more fireworks for the Flyers, with a 1-yard touchdown from Reese Ebarb and A.J. Taylor scoring on a 75-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Lafitte. In his first start, sophomore Lafitte was 9 for 12 on passing and threw for 145 yards and 1 touchdown. Ebarb led the way in rushing for 125 yards and 1 touchdown. The defense also played an outstanding game, pitching a shutout and only giving up 168 yards. Jack Bodden and Sam Schwach led the defense in tackles, each having 12, and Ian Birch also had 11 tackles. The volleyball team picked up 2 wins this week by beating Huntington 3-0 and then defeating Benton by the same score last night. They will have 3 home matches next week. Also, the cross-country team will compete in the Parkway cross-country meet tomorrow.
Thanks, Andrew. Looks like all our Flyers are off to a great start.
Now here's Carolyn Harrison with a recap from the volleyball team's trip to Baton Rouge this past weekend.
I spent last night in the arms of a girl in Louisiana. Though I'm out on the highway, my thoughts are still with her. Such a strange combination of a woman and a child. Such a strange situation, stopping every 100 miles, calling Baton Rouge. A replay of last night's events roll through my mind, except a scene or two erased by sweet red wine.
And I see a truck stop sign ahead, so I change lanes. I need a cup of coffee and a couple dollars change, calling Baton Rouge. Operator, won't you put me on through? I gotta send my love down to Baton Rouge. Hurry up, won't you put it on the line? Gotta talk to the girl just one more time. Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down to my last dime. Call in Baton
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. Just about the end of halftime. Flyers lead it 17-0. David Winkler, John Carmody, Art Carmody on the sideline, bringing you all the action here from the first game of the regular season. Flyers coming off a big win last weekend at Cedar Creek, looking to go 2-0 on the young season tonight if they can hold on to this 17-point halftime lead. John, we've seen the Flyers start slowly on offense. The defense has been tremendous throughout the first half. They really never slowed down, forcing turnovers, 3 and outs,
some scores,
bad punts. The special teams was good.
Defeated Bird 24-0.
The Gators really haven't had a chance to get anything going at all. They finally had a couple of decent plays right there towards the end of the first half. They really weren't able to get anything going. Flyer offense started slow, but really picked it up towards the end of the first half. 2 touchdown drives, and really could have had 3 or 4 touchdowns. We had a Reese Ebarb fumble early in the game that really probably wasn't a fumble. It should have been a touchdown, but the official said he fumbled it. And then we had a long touchdown pass, 44 yards from Jacob Lafitte to A.J. Taylor, but it was called back due to holding, so the Flyers maintain at this point a 17-0 halftime lead.
You know, it's kind of what we talked about at the beginning of the telecast, Dave. You have basically a brand new offense. You have new quarterback. You have wide receivers who don't have any experience. Reese Ebarb, you know, who is a veteran of this offensive group, but he was injured last year, and so there were a lot of questions on this. So you can expect that it's going to be kind of an up and down situation. There were some very good things that we saw. There were some things that I really wish that they had done better. But as you said, they had a couple of scores taken off the board, which, you know, could have gone the other way, and the lead could be even greater than it is. So all in all, I can imagine that Coach Jeter is happy. I'm sure that he probably had a few things to say about finishing other drives. But, you know, to be at this point in the game, you're up 17. The defense has really held Delhi's offense in check. Right now, you're right where you want to be, and it's just about finishing this game out. Delhi needed that halftime more than Loyola did. You could see how gassed they were, and it's going to be interesting to see how quickly they may get gassed again in the second half.
So the Monsoor kick is fielded at the 13-yard line by Jeffrey Williams, and Williams is going to bring it out to about the 26, and that's where the Gators will have it to start the third quarter.
On the return, he's tackled by Hammeter.
Flyer defense looking to pick up where they left off right here with a quick 3 and out.
First and 10, 27.
Chadwick Clark looking to flip the script a little bit if you're a Gator fan. Gators just couldn't get much going early in the first half. Thanks in large part to a tremendous Flyer defensive effort. And Clark's going to keep that one. He better tuck that ball in or he's going to fumble it again. As it is, he picks up about a yard. Make it 2nd and 9.
Again, I like the play design that Delhi's trying right there. They're trying to give him the option, but the Flyer defense stayed at home and played it perfectly, leaving him nothing. They had the quarterback covered and they had the pitch covered.
Second down 9. Clark's going to look to throw. He's looking for his running back out of the backfield, and he sends him deep, but he's not going to have time to do that. Not with the man, Sam Zwack, tracking him down. And Zwack will have the sack, and it'll be for a loss of about 8, I believe, John.
You know, and he was trying to come out in the flats to the inside receiver, and Key played that beautifully to the outside, and then he tried to turn it up, and Key stayed with him on the turn up, so he was actually looking for the long pass, and that gave Swat time to actually get there and get the sack.
There is a flag on the play, and the officials are discussing it at midfield. Let's see what Gary Allen has to say. Personal foul against Loyola, so the Flyers once again give one away to the Gator offense. It seems like penalty yardage, and there hasn't really been that much. I certainly don't mean to harp on it, but in a few key situations have given the Gators new life.
But these are disappointing. The defense has done its job. All you have to do is continue to play. They have not done anything on that drive, and you just gave them a first down.
17 yards. So after the 17-yard penalty, first and 10 from their own 45.
First and 10 to 45.
They haven't moved the chains for some reason yet, though.
Well, that's because Mayo's on the chains. In that let's see, no, or is that Les Tompkins and Rob Lindsay over there of the All-American chain crew?
I'm sure they were waiting for the official to give them the word.
As they should.
There's a
fumble. Handoff went that time to number 42, James Thomas, but Thomas coughed it up, and it looks like the Gators were able to fall back on it.
Fumble on the play.
It'll be a loss of 4
Brady
on the play, make it 2nd and 14.
And again, this is the reason why that unsportsmanlike conduct 15-yard penalty is a big deal, because you're making it tougher, you're making it longer for your offense to have to go down the field. The offense has been a little bit up and down. The more that the defense can keep them and keep our offense in a short field position, the better we are.
So 2nd and 14, 9:57 left here in the third quarter. Flyers lead it 17-0. Middle screen that time goes to Thomas, and Thomas is able to carry it across midfield down to the Flyer 47. Be about 2 yards shy of a first down, make it 3rd and 2.
At the 47 of
nice
Loyola.
play that time by the Gators.
It was a well-designed play to throw that middle screen. We still have some chatter with the officials. One of the players for Loyola.
3rd down and 2.
He's having to come off the field.
Looks like Coach Jeter wants an explanation. Not really sure what that's about. Whatever it is, Dylan Williams is pretty upset about it. I don't think they kicked him out of the game. I certainly didn't see any kind of a heave signal or a flag or anything along those lines.
And that's what makes it even more curious. I mean, so you don't send a player to the sideline for a play if you're an official. So I'm not sure what the call is here.
Whatever it is, Coach Jeter is not very happy about it. You can tell he's pretty animated on the sideline talking to the near official. So after all that, 3rd and 2, Gators need the 45. This time, pass is going to be incomplete. Looking for Jeffrey Williams was Clark that time, and it'll be 4th and 2.
Incomplete.
He had Williams hung on to that, John.
He did. It was a
get
very tight window, but he did put it in there. Again, this is another interesting call for Deli here. You got 4th and 2 at the 42-yard line. So their punting has been erratic. So you might imagine that they're going for this, but again, that's giving the Loyola offense a shorter field, and Loyola really has not put together really long drives. So it'd be interesting to see if they wanted to punt there.
Clark's going to keep this one, and that pass is going to be complete. Jeffrey Williams did a great job hanging on that. He puts the ball on the ground, though. Scramble. Let's see who has it. Loyola says they do. No signal from the official yet. And the Flyers have the ball. Turnover, Flyers. Biggest play of the night for the Gators. Ends in misery as they put the ball on the turf, and the Flyers come up with it. Flyers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line.
Again, the Flyers are lucky on that play right there. They did not wrap up on the initial throw and catch, and so that was the reason why he was able to break loose, and they were lucky to get the strip at the end of the play. So You know, the Flyers defense has been
Be first
really
and 10
stellar
Flyers in the 17.
throughout this game, but it's these little tiny lapses that kind of bother you. You've had 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and that's the first time we really hadn't seen people wrap up.
So here comes Jacob Lafitte from his own 17-yard line. First possession of the second half for the Flyers. Handoff's going to go inside to Reese Ebarb. Ebar's going to take it off left tackle across the 20 out to the 22. Gain of 5, make it 2nd and 5.
So again, the motion's great. It makes the defense actually have to respect that. So as he came through, they gave him that moment of hesitancy that allows Ebarb to get that hold. So you can see how open it is over here on the right-hand side. Delhi's trying to sell out right now. This is a great opportunity for a one-on-one out here to the right-hand side.
Lafitte looks like he thought he was going to run it out, but his receiver had other things in mind. So a little miscommunication there between Lafitte and his receiver, A.J. Taylor.
Again, the motion man comes in motion, and he probably is supposed to run a route right there because A.J.'s running a clearing out the corner, and so the motion man's got to come out there and make that play on the outside. So it looked like he just wasn't sure of the call, the receiver.
So 3rd and 5. Feet again, rolls right. He's going to look deep. He's got Taylor. Taylor catches it at the 40. Taylor to the 30. And he's probably going to be brought down at the 20-yard line by Donovan Wells. But a huge play for the Flyers. 57 yards, or 58 yards, excuse me, on the pass play. Biggest play of the night for the Flyers. Great job by Jacob Lafitte, who put that pass right in where it needed to be and hit Taylor in stride.
A great throw and really a great catch. That's exactly what the Flyers have been able to do, is use A.J. Taylor as their deep threat.
Handoff goes to Ebarb. Ebarb is going to be brought down at about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4.
That's Reese Ebarb. Gain of 4. 2nd down, 6.
Once again, Ebarb just does such a great job on these first down carries where he puts them in great down and distance situations for 2nd and 3rd down.
I mean, if he's running straight ahead, he's getting yards. It's only when he kind of cuts back that he loses his momentum.
So Keshawn English in there now for the Flyers. Lafitte looks to throw, and that pass is going to be too tall. He wanted Brandon Williams that time, and he was fortunate that Jeffrey Williams didn't pick that off.
Again, that play was a little bit tough right there because Jacobs actually he's looking left in that twins formation out to the left-hand side. He's really got single coverage out over here with A.J. Taylor, and I'd be looking that direction again.
So 3rd and 5. Flyers need the 10-yard line. Handoff's going to go to English that time. English was nice running, gets across the 10, and looks like that's going to be just enough for a Flyer first down.
Inside the 10.
Official Gary Allen says first down, so it'll be 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
What I really like was him continuing to pump his legs right there at the end of that run. He got that first down on that extra effort.
So English remains in the game.
Again, they got single coverage out on the left-hand side.
Lafitte takes his time.
You got a taller receiver with Brandon Williams over there on the left.
Again, he's going to roll right, looks to the corner of the end zone, incomplete. He wanted A.J. Taylor that time, but A.J. Taylor was covered nicely that time by Donovan Wells. Make it 2nd down and goal from just inside the 10.
There it is.
Looking to the left corner. And the pass is incomplete that time. Great pass by Lafitte, really, John.
Pass incomplete.
He hit him. Brandon Williams, the intended receiver, just couldn't hang on to it. But he put it about the only place he could put it.
I'm telling you,
Third and goal.
That's what I was saying on the earlier play right there. That is, you got a great setup over there. It's one-on-one coverage. You got a taller receiver. There's nothing wrong with that play call.
So 3rd and goal now, just inside the 10. Lafitte's going to put it in English's hands to take it back. He wanted Chase Jackson, but the pass is incomplete, and the field goal unit will come out to the field.
Jacob put that ball right where it was supposed to be, too. So, I like the play call. The slant was open.
Matt Mansour in for a 27-yard field goal.
Well, and we got to remember, too, we've talked a lot about the inexperience of Jacob being his first year, but our wide receiver group is incredibly inexperienced.
Exactly
These
right.
guys are learning right along with Jacob.
And of course, if you're your offense coordinator, if you're the quarterback's coach, you're seeing good things. You're seeing the ball being placed where it's supposed to be. There've been a couple of balls that I would have said I'm a little bit worried about throwing into double coverage, but almost every pass has been where you would want it to be.
So the 27-yard field goal by Matt Mansour is good. And with that, 6:05 left here in the third quarter. Flyers now lead it 20-0.
But again,
And hold on. We're going to go down to Art Carmody. Art Carmody on the sideline. $20-0, 5:58 left here in the third quarter. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV. Low snap. Clark does a good job of crowning it, picks it back up, drops it, and he's finally going to be brought down for a loss of about 5. Clark's had all kinds of problems hanging on to the ball tonight, John.
But again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that the defense has been getting in their lanes And so he's seeing those defenders early on, and he's having to make a quick decision.
5, 2nd and 15 at the 18.
Well, whatever happened with Dylan Williams earlier, thankfully he is back in the game.
So 2nd and 15 now. Clark hands off that time. They've got a nice hole. That's James Thomas, who gets it all the way back up to about the 32-yard line.
Jackson on the stop.
About 13 yards on the carry for Thomas, and that'll set up a 3rd and 2.
It's a gain of 12.
Call it a gain of 12, 3rd and 3.
It'll bring up 3rd and 3 from the 30.
So nice run that time by Thomas, really his best of the night.
It was, and it was well sealed off. The Flyers, really kind of got, the first time, kind of blocked up very well.
Flyers bring the blitz. Clark going to roll right. He's going to keep it, and he's going to be balled down 2 yards shy of the first down marker. He gets it up to about the 31. That's it. He needs the 33, and that'll set up a 4th and 2.
Again, this is a very difficult situation.
He's tackled by Michael Key.
For any coach right now. I mean, you're at the 31-yard line halfway through the third quarter. Are you going to try to win the game at all at this point? Are you going to take your chances?
It's a gain of
or
1.
Are you going to, 4th down. It's a tough call.
And 2.
It's a very tough call, and it looks like he's going to choose the punt route. You do wonder, then, you alluded to it earlier, the punting hasn't been very good. It's kind of a crapshoot, really, what kind of punt you're going to get. You almost got to weigh that into the equation and think about going for it. That time he almost got it blocked. Probably should have. At the very least, the shank was forced that time. I believe that was Michael Key that got in there really quickly.
And we've called Michael Key's name a few times tonight, and he has really played well. He got in there. It was kind of a slow snap and a slow kick, and so, I thought he was going to take the football and go the other direction. He was in there so quick.
So, really, it probably would have been better off going for that, as it turns out, but they didn't, and the Flyers benefit. First down Flyers from the Gator 38. 3:39 left here in the third quarter. Flyers lead it 20-0.
Again, I still want to see us move the football down the field. It doesn't have to be touchdowns, but, the offense needs to show that it can consistently move the football down the field.
Ebarb's going to take the handoff. He gets across the line of scrimmage. He stays on his feet. Nice third effort. Reese Ebarb across the 20, down to the 15. Reese Ebarb running like a grown man. Great second and third effort that time by Reese Ebarb.
There are two things right there. Look how all the defensive linemen are walking back. They are tired. And they just took the abuse from Reese Ebarb. Those two things are working in your favor right now. That is a tired defense, and so the Flyers need to make sure that they're taking advantage of that. They need to continue to run the ball and really make them work hard. Every time that you go for the home run and it doesn't work out, you're giving that defense a little bit more of a rest.
So 18 yards on the Ebarb carry. Lafitte's going to look to throw this time. That pass is going to be complete out to A.J. Taylor. A.J. Taylor makes a nice move on the first man. He'll be brought down inside the 10 at about the 8, and that'll set up a 1st and goal situation for the Flyers.
I love that play call. It is not a home run right there. It is the quick. It was what was open. He had single coverage out there. The quick throw, allowing A.J. space to do what he does after the catch. Great throw, way to get it out. Jacob did a nice job of getting it out quickly and let A.J. go.
So 13 yards on the pass play that time. Sets up 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Feet's going to look to throw.
He's wide open.
He's looking that time for Trey Taylor. Trey Taylor with the reception. Touchdown, Flyers! 7 yards on the pass play. Jacob Lafitte to his big buddy Trey Taylor, or his little buddy Trey Taylor. I don't know how you'd want to look at it.
We'll just call him his fast buddy.
His fast buddy Trey Taylor. And with that, the Flyers now take a 26-0 lead with 2:52 left in the third quarter.
I love the play call. They had the trip set. They motioned Trey into motion, and he's running a quick little out. So the defender, they knew he had man coverage, and so it was really just Trey beating him to the spot. and it's really just one of those situations. It's a throw.
Loyola
It's a
27.
spot throw.
And we're going to go down to Art Carmody. Art. The Flyers do exactly what you wanted them to do, John. They move the ball down the field. Combination of run and pass, nice balance. Ends with a 7-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Lafitte to Trey Taylor. And the Flyers now have a 27-point lead, 27 to nothing. With 2:52 left here in the third quarter.
That's exactly what you want to see. You saw a very effective play calling right there. Everything was going forward. They were in shorter and shorter situations to get first downs, and so that keeps the defense off balance. They did a great job. I love the play calls on that series.
Montour to kick off.
So Montour,
Jeffrey Williams,
who just put the extra point through, who's perfect on his kicks tonight. A field goal and a couple of extra points. Set to kick it. The ball will be fielded at the 10-yard line by Jeffrey Williams, and Williams will return it up to the 28-yard line for the Gators, and that'll
Williams on the return.
Be where the Gators take over 1st and 10.
Tackled by
Well, I think we've seen a first where this may be the first time I've ever seen us kick deep on every kickoff, and it's been effective.
Tackled at the
I don't think that they've
28-yard
started one of their possessions beyond the 30-yard line, so the kick coverage has been excellent. The kicking has been good, and the kick coverage has been good.
So here come the Gators again. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Chadwick Clark the second. Hands off that time to James Thomas, and Thomas will get right about to the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
Thomas carries. He's tackled by Durrell and Bodden.
Durrell and Bodden on the stop for the Flyers. Actually, it looks like they're going to give him 2 yards on the carry, or maybe 3, 31.
And this is one of those games where, again, you're winning. You want to make sure that your defense continues to stay disciplined, that they don't try to look for anything fancy, trying to get sacks or anything else. You want to make sure that they're staying home. They did a great job right there bottling that up.
So 2nd and 7. Clark hands off to Thomas again. Thomas with a pretty nice hole. Nice effort for Thomas. He'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a Gator first down, which
Thomas
is, John, at least by virtue of an actual play from scrimmage, we haven't said that a lot tonight.
We hadn't, and that was a nice run. Really, Ian Birch
first down
hit him and held on, but he was able to give Ian a little ride for a couple extra yards.
Low snap. Clark does a good job getting on it. He's going to look downfield, and that pass is going to be caught. Nice job coming back for the football that time. The Gator receiver doing a great job, and that's his number one receiver, Marcellus Creer, who just has a little playground football right there, John.
It really is, and again, I mean that's what athleticism can do for you right there. Down. You know, I mean. That in all lessons that should have been a sack, but he was able to be, even get further back and loft the ball up and give his receiver a chance. I mean, you don't expect that play to go complete very often.
So 11 yards on the reception gives the Gators their second first down of this drive, and the first time tonight they've had back-to-back first downs. Again, the ball is fumbled, and this time Clark just falls on it. Clark just having all kinds of problems, and the center too. The Gator center is clearly having some issues. There's no doubt about that.
And I think the coaches at Delhi are really kind of frustrated by that situation as well.
Charter.
They're having enough frustration with it that the Delhi coach is coming all the way out to midfield to very animatedly talk with official Gary Allen. Not sure what he's so upset about.
November the 13th.
Whatever it is, he's very animated. Loyola College Prep Athletics would like to extend a welcome to all our Blue Sea patrons and thank them for their support this season. All sports passes, which are good for admission to all Loyola regular season athletic events, are still available. Please contact Jessica Smith at the school for more information or stop by the Anderson building during normal business hours to speak to her. Get your Blue Sea passes in time for the upcoming basketball and soccer seasons and in time for the busy spring sports season.
Sure Access MD and the Think Network.
So second down and 17 now.
Second down and 18.
Clark hands off this time to DeMontraw Williams, and Williams picks up maybe 3 yards, gets it up to the 48.
Williams carries.
You know,
third and 15.
I can't say enough about Kilgore and Durrell. I mean, they are really squeezing down these holes. These running backs are running through a very tight spot, and it is really because the defensive line has played so well.
That time the pass is complete, but only for about 4 yards. Wicker on the reception, but he's pushed out immediately by Neo Brock. There is a flag on the play. It's like they call a face mask against the Flyers that time. I believe he said face mask. It's kind of hard to tell from all the way across the field. But at any rate, the flag is against Loyola. So
that is the third time that third and long is gone for a first down.
Instead of a 4th and 10, let's see where they end up putting it. Looks like it's going to be
defensive holding.
Defensive holding is the call.
Defensive holding, the call against the Flyers.
It's going to be the 10 yards they need for a first down.
That's a 14-yard penalty.
I'm not sure how they got a 14-yard penalty.
No, it was actually holding. That was not right. I believe that he
They did give him 14 yards.
I think he tacked it on. He tacked it onto the end of the reception. It's the only way that he could have gotten that. But the Flyer defense is up to the task that time. Sam Zwock was in there almost immediately, and Chadwick Clark just had absolutely nowhere to go. And we're going to go down to the sideline real quick and talk to Art Carmody.
Loss of 5, second and 15.
It's been all Flyers tonight, 27-0 heading into the fourth quarter. The Flyers offense, defense, and special teams has been rolling. Good thing for the Flyers, no injuries tonight. Everybody's stayed relatively healthy. So fourth quarter, may see some of the backups coming into the game as they prepare for Magnetic Charter next week. But all Flyers tonight seems to be on their way to another home victory. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Art. So that's the end of the third quarter. Going to the fourth, Flyers have a very comfortable 27-0 lead. Both sides of the ball have been pretty good for the Flyers tonight. The defense has been fantastic. The Flyer offense coming of age quickly tonight. Jacob Allen and his receivers have looked pretty darn good from the second quarter on, and Reese Ebarb has run like a man possessed several times tonight. The Gators just can't get anything going on offense.
And this is you have to finish out this game now. Okay, you built your lead. Now you got to finish it out.
So 2nd and 10. Gators have it at the Flyer 43.
So they had a negative yardage situation, so they have them down at 2nd and 10. Yeah. They really should be second and 15. So they've got the markers, the first down markers aligned wrong when they changed fields. I'm sure the chain crew is not at fault.
Yeah, there's no way that Mr. Tompkins and Mr. Lindsay would mess that up, so it cannot be their fault. And Mr. Mayo, I believe, is over there as well. All-American chain crew, best in the business. There we go. There we go. All right.
So that's an expert adjustment by that crew.
So after we get that sorted out, 2nd and 15 now. Clark's going to look at those. He's under pressure again.
Oh, what a
and
play.
Zwack got there and absolutely swallowed him up again. Sam Zwack having a tremendous game tonight.
I'm telling you, that is the 3rd time that Sam Zwack has come in, and he has not allowed the quarterback to get outside of him. That is really, exceptional angles on going in for your tackles. An outstanding play, singular play in the backfield.
So after the sack, the Gators will move back 13 yards to their own 44. They'll have to get all the way down to the Flyer 29 for a first down, 28 yards.
Again, you don't want defensive holding, you don't want personal fouls, things that have kept drives alive.
Clark looks to throw, and that pass is going to be incomplete, nearly intercepted that time by Josh Jackson. He just couldn't quite hang on to it. But a great job in coverage by the Flyers, and that'll make it 4th and a country mile.
It was, and Josh Jackson had a better play on the ball than the receiver did, so that, he played that extremely well.
I believe this would be the figurative white flag being thrown up by the Gators as they send the punting unit out onto the field.
Yeah, even in this scenario, we got 4th and 28. I think I'd be punting on this one as well.
Jinx, who's seen quite a bit of duty tonight.
Jinx to kick. Josh Jackson, Pierce Jackson.
The return firm of Jackson and Jackson back again, and this time the Flyers are going to give them another one, as coming in was, I believe that was Michael Key, who's had a really good game tonight, but that time he got just a little bit over anxious and managed to hit the punter.
And I just talked about this on defense. This is where you don't need to be a hero. You don't need to do the extra thing. You don't have to go and get out of your gaps on defense. You don't have to go and try to block the punt. I mean, that's great that you're putting out the effort and everything else. But again, the offense needs to work. We need to have the offense in this game get its work in. And so you hate to see another drive extended because of a penalty. And that's the 4th time, I believe, that's happened in this game.
So I believe that's what Coach Jeter is probably relaying to his special teams unit right there. I'm sure special teams coach Michael Mitchell's also had a few words for him. Although the special teams unit overall has been very, very good tonight, John. Let's make no mistake about that. One mistake right here doesn't erase three quarters of very good football.
Well, there were 2 flags thrown on that, so we're going to be interested to see if they may be offset.
Let's see.
And that'd be very lucky for the Flyers if that ended up being the case.
Looks like they're going to spot the ball on the 48-yard line of the Gators. So obviously the penalty yardage will not. Let's see if
they called 3 fouls: running into the kicker and then offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yes. So that's still 4th down.
We'll bring up a 4th and 20.
Not sure why they're moving the chains on the other side. The line to gain doesn't change there, Coach Rob.
4th and 23.
But it depends. I mean, their officials must have told them to come down there, but they called it running into the kicker, I guess, and not a personal foul penalty on him. So they only look like a 5-yard
All right,
penalty assessment.
so after all that's settled, here comes Jinx with another punt. Jackson back to receive. Flyers almost get there again, but wisely they hold back and don't go for the block.
By Pierce Jackson.
Pierce Jackson makes the fair catch at the 27-yard line. And that Flyer offense that you alluded to will get the ball back now, 1st and 10.
10:43 to go, 4th quarter. Flyer ball, 1st and 10 at the 47.
Well, at least it's cooled off to solid 88 by now, John.
It almost feels good.
All right, here come the Flyers. 10:43 left in the 4th quarter, up 27-0. Jacob Lafitte is going to hand off to Ebarb that time. Ebarb running hard across the 30.
Hayden Arledge.
He'll pick up 3 yards before Hayden Arledge brings him down, and that'll make it 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6.
And again, I like the run right there. Ebarb's got his momentum going through the hole, and he is carrying tacklers with him.
Flyers not in a big hurry here, as you would expect, with a 27-point lead. Lafitte's going to look to throw, and that pass is going to be complete to his receiver, Brandon Williams, and Williams will be brought down at the 34. That'll be a gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, it was an interesting formation there. They brought him in motion.
Williams with a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd
on
and
the screen.
3.
But, you know, they really didn't get both blocks, so Brandon didn't really have an alley to get up the field.
So 3rd and 3 now. Tell you what, one thing we haven't said tonight, which we should have by now, is the Flyers' offensive line has done a tremendous job. Jacob Lafitte has been clean all night long. I don't even think they've gotten a hit on him. That time, the carry by English,
McDaniel.
he gets it up to about the 31. He'll lose maybe 3 yards on the carry.
You're right.
Loss of 3 to the 31.
You're
It'll
right
be
about the
4th and
offensive
6.
line, Dave. They've really played great as a unit.
Make it 4th and 6, and the Flyer punt unit will come onto the field. Haven't seen much of the Flyer punt unit tonight. As a matter of fact, John, I don't believe we have seen the Flyer punt unit, have we? Is this the first punt?
This is, I believe, the
Matt
first punt.
Monsoor to punt.
Matt
McKinley
Monsoor
Dorsey, deep to receive.
will punt for the Flyers. Dorsey stands at his own 39 for Delhi Charter. Uh-oh, the snap goes over Monsoor's head. Monsoor is able to pick it up. He's going to run with it, and he's going to get brought down at the 3-yard line. Wow, so the Flyer defense is going to have their ears pinned back here. It's going to be 1st and goal, Delhi Charter from the Loyola 3 after a bad snap. Puts it over the head of Matt Monsoor. Monsoor fortunate enough to just get on it and get it back.
Goal at the 3 for Delhi Charter.
Not what the punt unit wanted to see on their first trip into the game.
Definitely not. And you know, that whole series right there sort of kind of went awry. I mean, I would have liked to have seen the Flyers really kind of run the football right there. I mean, they've done a good job with Ebar. You got eight and a half minutes to go in this game. You really do need to make sure that you're, working as a unit, that the offense is becoming more gelled as you go along. That was a very short series.
We're going to have a flag right here. Let's see what we have. Let's see.
It's like too many men on the field, maybe?
Too many men, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12, John.
1st and goal.
So 5-yard penalty will push it back to the 8-yard line.
I still have 12. I don't see anybody coming off
Nobody
yet.
came. Well, nobody has. I don't think they know who's supposed to come off. All
right, here.
So finally,
now we're playing 11 on 11.
Trenton Jinks steps off to the field, and they have the requisite 11. And they'll have it 1st and goal from their 8 now, will the Gators. 8:25 left in the 4th quarter. Flyers still lead it 27-0, but the Gators looking to get some points on the board finally here in the 4th quarter. Flyer defense would like to have a say in that. And we're going to get a timeout again by the Gators.
Delhi Charter.
So with that timeout, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV. Welcome back. Delhi Charter is going to keep it, and that's going to be Chadwick Clark, who takes it into the end zone for a Delhi Charter touchdown. So 8 minutes, 17 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, and the Gators finally find their way onto the board after a special team snafu gave them a tremendous opportunity with a very short field, and Chadwick Clark's able to convert that for 6 to make it 27-6 with the extra point pending.
Again, in these types of games, you're up, people start to get a little bit lax, and you've got to fight that. You've got to finish these games out. Special teams have been a little bit lax. The defenses let them have 3 or 4 new possessions. So, these are the things that have to be cleaned up. It's a young team. There's some things that need to be, cleaned up as the season goes along. I imagine Coach Jeter is going to be emphasizing these things. But, there are a lot of things that you're going to come away from this game with saying there are things we need to work on.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's going to be an offsides penalty against Loyola. We'll move it up a couple of yards, half the distance. Jinx will attempt it now from the 9-yard line. And bad snap. And the Flyers are going to be all over it. No. That's Cameron Wicker, who's able to get it off and complete the 2-point conversion on a broken play. Donovan Wells on the reception. So, John, probably not how they drew it up, but it is what it is. And instead of an extra point, Delhi Charter puts up 2 to make the score 27-8.
And equally important, Cody Kilgarlin is on the ground. He has played a heck of a game tonight. Hope that he is not injured too badly.
Well, and these are the type of games, John, where I am sure that Coach Jeter would love to start getting some young kids in this game, if for no other reason than that right there. I mean, it's hot. These kids have played an entire game. They're probably a little fatigued right now. This is when injuries happen. The crazy end of the game, we were up 27-8, and so-and-so's still in the game and got hurt. This is when you'd like to get your young kids in the game, get those starters out you're going to need.
This is why you play discipline. This is why you do what you do on all of these plays. You don't do anything different. You don't try to hit home runs. You just go and do what you do. And this, again, you got 8 minutes. You need to finish this game out. That is the main thing right now. This game is kind of dragging on. The time is going very slow. You really want this game. You want the clock to run. You want to finish this game
out. George Purvis is going to handle the kicking duties this time. And we're going to have a timeout by the Flyers. Obviously, with Purvis kicking, you figure something might be a brew there, possibly an onside kick. He's not the regular kicker, so I think that Coach Mitchell smelled that out. You could see Coach Mitchell right up next to Coach Jeter. I think that his antenna went up a little bit when he saw the different kicker roll out there. 8:17 left here in the game. Flyers lead at 27-8.
But you've given a little bit of life to a team that had no life. I mean, and that's what is bothersome because, you know, with the botched punt, with the offense not going anywhere on the last series, you've given a team a lot of life and you really haven't moved the clock at all. So yeah, they're going to try an onside kick. What do they have to lose at this point?
So the Flyers get the hands team in there. Decent kick. He got the bounce he was looking for, but Pierce Jackson does a great job of getting on top of that after it bounced off his foot, and the Flyers will have it 1st and 10 from just shy of midfield. Great hands there by Pierce Jackson, John. That easily could have turned out poorly.
It was a very effective line drive kick at him, and those are the kind that can easily bounce off of you and go right back to the kicking team.
So let's see if the Flyers keep it on the ground here and try to burn some clock and do what you were talking about and just try to get this thing over with. Keyshawn English in the game right now in the backfield along with Jacob Lafitte. English is he's gonna fake the handoff to English and hit his man that time. That's A.J. Taylor. Nice throw that time by Jacob Lafitte. So foot not off the gas pedal yet, John. 11 yards on the reception and a 1st down for the Flyers.
You really, that time, got to really see the arm strength of Jacob. He really fired that ball in there.
Flyers taking plenty of time between plays, as you would kind of expect they would. Again, fakes the handoff to English and completes it out to Chase Jackson. Jackson across the 10, down to about the 7, but there is going to be a flag.
To Chase Jackson.
Looks like it's probably going to go against the Flyers, but we'll see.
That was interesting. I don't know what they call a block in the back or if a hold. I mean, it looked like a pretty good block right there on the sideline. But
holding to call on the Flyers.
Yep, holding against the Flyers, so bring back the reception. Great play that time.
It looked like he walled him off pretty well. I'm not sure what the official saw right there, but, you know, he had a different angle than we did.
Coach Jeter doesn't seem to care for the call, and I don't blame him.
It's a 22-yard reception. Penalty will move the ball back to the 28, a 10-yard holding penalty.
After the 10-yard holding penalty, the 22-yard reception
it is enough for a 1st down.
Will still be
10 Flyers.
End up being a net 12-yard gain, so a 1st down for the Flyers from the Gator 28. Lafitte is going to look to throw. He's under pressure. And this time he's going to be brought down, brought down hard by big number 66. That's Hayden
Aldridge. 10, 2nd and 20.
And that's 300 pounds of bad intention coming down on your sophomore quarterback, John.
Yeah, and I mean, and Delhi is walking people up, and they're sending people. So these pass plays that are, taking any amount of time, Jacob's going to, take a lot of hits. I mean, they should be looking for quick hitters, screens, slants, things that, they're going to keep coming at them, and we've given them a little bit of life. So what do they have to lose at this point? And here they walk everybody up again. It's a good play call right there.
Play call. It was set up nicely, but passed just a little bit off. Trey Taylor was the intended receiver. Make it 3rd and 20.
So, again, that's the right play call right there. You've seen what the defense is doing. They're walking everybody up. Again, this is a time where you might be able to go one-on-one with A.J. again throw a little timing, little loft pattern on the outside, let him try to go get it. Again, there's no safety help back there.
English still in the backfield for the Flyers. Going to move to Lafitte's right. Lafitte's going to drop back to pass again. He's going to look downfield. He's got a man. Pass is incomplete, and they're going to get it. They're going to get the defense for pass interference, though. Donovan Wells and Brandon Williams on a bang-bang play, but looks like they're going to get Wells for contact just a skosh too early.
You know, that's a tough call right there. Again, the defensive back never turned to make a play at all until he made contact with Brandon. So the call is right, but, you know, it was, like you said, it was kind of one of those bang-bang things. You know, it just is, it's in the, you know, the discretion of the official right there. I mean, you could see that going either way.
So the Flyers on the receiving end of a nice big third down penalty here.
15-yard penalty on pass interference will make it third.
So it makes it
and 5.
3rd and 5 now.
From the 23.
From the 23. 6 minutes, 6 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Flyers lead it 27-8. And we're going to have another flag. Let's see what this is. If this is against Delhi Charter, it's probably going to be enough for a first down.
Probably an unsportsmanlike.
Awfully close.
It looks like a sideline penalty.
Is it a warning or a penalty? Because I don't think they've given him one yet.
He made the motion as though it was a sideline issue, and he's thrown the flag. So.
Sideline warning, the call against.
So it's just a warning.
Delhi Charter.
No penalty yardage. So it's still 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Third and 5 to the 18. The Flyers need to get. Lafitte is going to pass complete that time. He got Chase Jackson again.
Pass complete to Chase Jackson.
And Jackson got it down to right at the line to gain. It'll be awfully close. Let's see what the official says.
Looks like they're giving them first. Yep, first down.
There's timeout on the field.
So with that, Flyers have a first down, and we'll get a timeout with 5:58 left here in the fourth quarter.
Nissan Armada parked behind the Loyola grandstand by the field house.
We'd like to thank Christus Highland Hospital and the doctors from the Highland Center for Orthopedics for continuing to provide the sports medicine coverage and athletic trainer for Loyola.
Needs to be moved as soon as possible.
Again, we want to thank our All-American sponsors, Auto Body Express, Baker Machine, Barksdale Federal Credit Union, Jimmy Granger, and Cane River Auto Adventures, Dr. Peter Nasser, Home Federal Bank, Graff Orthodontics, Specialist Hospital and Orthopedic Specialist, Sure Access MD, and the Think Network. So John, got about 6 minutes left here to go in the game. The Flyers maintain a 19-point lead, and they have the ball deep in Gator territory, looking to put the grand finale finish on this game. Wrap it in the bow, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Delhi's defense, there's no telling how many minutes they've logged in this game. They have going to be sleeping on the bus back home.
Lafitte throws again, this time
that's
in
a
the
face
end
call.
zone. And
That's
again,
gonna be another easy
it's
call.
going to be another pass interference penalty by Ladarius Houston.
Pass incomplete, intended for Chase Jackson.
It was intended for
There's a
Chase
flag on the play.
Jackson.
Again, I give Jacob a lot of credit right there. He hung in there.
So clear.
He gave his receivers a chance. That's where you want to put the football, and he had to stay in long time and take a big hit in order to get it there.
Clearly, you got to feel like Coach Jeter's got a tremendous amount of confidence in his defense right now. with this lead and the time left on the court, coming out throwing play after play after play after play instead of just running the clock out like you would by the book would say you just run the clock out here. But he clearly wants to work on his offense, like you were talking about earlier. He wants to get Jacob Lafitte those reps.
And I agree with it. The thing that bothered me earlier was, of course, giving up the touchdown and giving them life. That's the thing, is that you had them down. They didn't really want to play that much at that point, But you give them life, and the game goes to 27-8. That changes the way coach and players are going to start thinking about a game. So I'm glad that we're having this drive. We need to make sure we convert, at least getting some points on the board, either by touchdown or a field goal, because this is what the offense needs. It needs this work.
And you figure next week we're going to have a very similar, if not even more lopsided situation when the Magnolia Charter School comes into town, or comes into Mesmer Stadium. I guess they're already in town. Matter of fact, they're literally right down the street. This time the handoff's going to go to English, I believe that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure where
English is tackled by Jinx.
I'm not sure where you'd play a neutral game between Loyola and Magnolia.
Flat Parkway down there, in the Little League Baseball complex.
Back to the 10. 2nd and 3.
So 2nd and 3. Magnolia, it's the other home team this year in Mesmer Stadium, as the Flyers have been gracious enough to let Magnolia borrow Mesmer Stadium on Thursday nights for their home game after the LHSA disallowed their stadium.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they have a home and home series, will the Flyers actually have to be a visitor in their own stadium?
So English with a 4-yard loss on the play, and he comes off hobbled. Looks like he got an ankle right there. Make it 3rd and 7. So next week, John, is that like the Lakers and the Clippers, two teams that share the same field? Who gets the home locker room?
Makes you wonder where they're going to put us.
So 3rd and 7. 4:30 left here in the football game. Flyers lead it 27-8. This time, Ebarb faking the passes.
Oh, what a great catch!
Complete.
What a great
touchdown! Flyers. Ellis Tompkins on the 14-yard touchdown reception from Jacob Lafitte, and the Flyers go up 33-8.
Not only was that a great play call, but Ellis Tompkins has done a lot of dirty work in this game with a lot of lead blocks and everything else. You'd love to see him make that catch right there.
And I was wrong. That wasn't Reese Ebarb in the game. That was actually Wes Barlow.
Avon Smith on for the extra point.
Avon Smith.
Left to hold.
Mansour stays on the sideline, and Avon Smith gets a little work. And not sure what.
Looked like he must have called offsides.
Some penalty on.
I think it was offsides. They look like they advanced the football.
So Avon will get to move up a couple of yards. Or a yard. The kick is up, and it is good.
Smith's kick
4:13 left here in the football game. The Flyers now lead it 34-8.
He didn't need that extra yard, but glad to have it.
Actually, that time the Gators put pretty good pressure on him up the middle, and he was still able to get it over their head from the short distance. A good kick there by Avon. So the Flyer defense back out on the field one more time. Looking to get this game over with just a little bit over 4 minutes left, and the Flyers maintaining a commanding lead.
Flyers go 8 plays, 49.
The drive was 8 plays,
yards.
51 yards.
And a
culminating in a 14-yard touchdown pass to Ellis Tompkins from Jacob Lafitte.
Everybody on the sideline was congratulating Ellis, and he just realized that he's on the kickoff team. He had to run out there and actually play a little bit more.
So Monsoor back out there to kick off.
Monsoor to kick off.
Jeffrey Williams back to receive. Williams will take a shot at it right here from his own 14. He drops the ball, picks it back up at the 20, and he'll be brought down right there. That was Landon Martin who got in there and made the tackle for the Flyers. So, again, really good special teams play for the Flyers.
Landon Martin.
Coverage teams have been excellent tonight, all night long.
They really have. And, again, look at where the drive is starting at the 22-yard line. I don't think that they've allowed them to start past the 30.
All right, so here we go. 4:04 left in the fourth quarter. The Gators just looking to make it a little more respectable, but I think the Flyer defense would just assume keep it where it is. Wicker is now in at quarterback, and he hands off up the middle to DeMontrell Williams, and Williams has a nice run up to the 34, gain of 12, and a Gator first down. Hammer on the stop for the Flyers. So Chadwick Clark's night is done. Cameron Wicker, the junior, 5'10", 150, takes over. Again, the handoff goes to DeMontrell Williams, and Williams this time going to get about 3 yards before the Flyer defense stops the play dead.
And again, Luke Hammer one more time.
Hammer among those on the stop.
And Hammer just stood him up right there. That was a great play in the hole. I mean, it's 2 plays in a row. Luke Hammer, showing what an athlete he is.
Again, Williams on the carry, and again, the Flyer defense does a great job keeping him to a gain of 1. That'll make it 4th down and about 6.
Talk about Birch and Tompkins.
Birch and Tompkins on the stop for the Flyers first.
And
gain of 1, it'll be 3rd and 6.
Actually, it's 3rd and 6.
And Sam Zwak just comes out of the game, and he really deserves a lot of credit for his play tonight.
Sam Zwak, probably the defensive player of the game. You could probably make an argument for Durrell, I think, but Swak really made his presence felt, particularly in the Gator backfield. 2 minutes left here in the game, 3rd and 7. We're going to get a flag right here, and it's going to be a false start by the Gators. So move it back, play it over.
And here comes Luke Hammer off to get a well-deserved rest as well. He has played a heck of a game as well.
Nice run again, that time by Williams. Williams finally brought down at midfield, but not before he has a Gator first down. Josh Jackson finally makes the stop. But a nice run by Williams.
First down.
And here comes Cody Kilgallen out of the game. Again, another player who's we've called his name many times tonight. He has played a heck of a game.
So first down Gators from midfield. Just over a minute left in the football game. It's like James Thomas back in there. This time, Walt Wicker's going to keep it. He spins out of a couple of tackles, and he'll have a nice gain down to the 41-yard line. It'll be about a yard shy of a first down, but nice run that time by Cameron Wicker.
Wicker tackled by Tompkins and Josh Jackson at the 41. It's a gain of 9.
Tompkins and Jackson on the stop for the Flyers. 30 seconds left in the football game. We'll see if the looks like they're going to have to run at least one more play. Play clock's at 21. Game clock's at 23. So what looks to be the last play of the game here. Wicker's going to keep it. He's going to run left, and he's going to be brought down. That is
Wicker
Neo Brock, who
Brock
brings down
and
Wicker.
Jackson.
And that's going to be your ball game.
It's a gain of 1.
Your score here
First
from
down.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. There is a flag on the play. Flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play,
which would be an untimed down if it's against Loyola, since the Gators have the ball. Let's see what they decide to do here.
They may call a face mask. Yep.
Personal foul face mask
one
against
play.
the Flyers, so we are going to have an untimed down.
One more play.
Face mask is the call on
Everybody
the Flyers.
rushing back into their seats from the parking lot, John, to see this last untimed down. Not really.
He's calling, and they decline the penalty.
They decline it, so that will end the game, I believe. Yes. Look, the Gators are making their way across midfield, so that will end the game. The final score here from Mesmer Stadium, Loyola 34, Delhi Charter 8. The Flyers will move to 2-0 on the young season, and they'll be back here next week to play Delhi Charter.
Best of luck to the Delhi Charter Gators for their season.
We're going to come back in just a minute and wrap it up. You've been watching Flyer football on LCP TV. Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. Final score. Well, it's already been erased off the scoreboard, but it was 34-8. Flyers with a fairly, I want to say easy win. Nothing's ever easy, but comfortable win. They'll move to 2-0 on the young season, 1-0 at home. The Flyer defense, the game kind of went as we thought, John, right? The Flyer defense was fantastic. The Flyer offense started slow but picked up steam as the game went on. It really made several nice plays, several good drives. And all in all, I think Coach Jeter's got to be very pleased with the performance. Of course, there's improvements to be made. I mean, they're a very young team, but I think Coach Jeter's got to be pretty happy at this point in the season so far after 2 games.
That's why repetitions are so important in these games. I mean, if you have an opportunity to get those plays in, it is so important. The defense is ahead of the game. The offense, of course, needs to catch up. And so we saw some good things from the offense. Of course, 2 touchdowns that were essentially erased, by penalties. But, there are some things that the offense has to work on. You see glimpses of what the offense can be. Jacob Lafitte, this is 2 games in a row where he has really played pretty well. He hadn't had any interceptions. He's put the ball where the ball was supposed to be. Only a couple times I think he took sacks where he held the ball a little bit longer than you might want. But again, those may have been play calls against certain defenses. Those things can happen. So he managed the game very well. I know Coach Jeter's got to be encouraged by that. Reese Ebarb gave you everything that we expect Reese Ebarb to give you. And that is a great place to start with your offense. And so there's a lot to be worked on there. There's really glimpses of things that are going to get better. The things that the offensive coaches are going to end up seeing is what these individual players can do. They saw that A.J. Taylor can get behind some people, and so that's something that other coaches are going to see. And so they have a deep threat. And so there's some of that short and intermediate stuff that's going to come as the season goes on, where your windows are to get the ball in. I think quickly enough, and so there's a lot to take from this. There was some sloppiness that we commented on. Those things happen with kids who are young, but that needs to be cleaned up. Okay, and that's where it ultimately comes down to, is that you want your heads screwed on correctly throughout the game, and that's one of the things that's going to show itself on film. I'm sure it's going to be something that the coaches are going to emphasize. My hat's off to the defense. They played well. You commented again about how well the offensive line played. They really played well, and they are the core of what makes the offense tick. Because as you said, Jacob Lafitte, I think, only had 1 or 2 sacks in that entire game, and that's because that offensive line did a good job.
All right, well, that's going to do it from Mesmer Stadium tonight. I want to thank our producer, Andrew Flanagan, camera, Savannah Child, sideline, Mark Bernard. Of course, none of this could happen without Kyle Tanner and J.J. Marshall. We'll be right back here next week as the Flyers take on the Magnolia Charter School. They'll look to go 3-0 on the young season, 2-0 at home. So please make sure to join us here same time next week. Kickoff 7 pregame show at 6:45. For John Carmody, Art Carmody, I'm David Winkler. Thanks for watching LCP TV. We'll see you next week. Good night.